a lot of excitement in the WWE universe. I hope everyone is well. I hope that excitement is out there amongst you guys also, as we build towards what promises to be a very fun SmackDown. It is a go-home, but they have announced some pretty interesting matches, actually. And I think what's really interesting about this SmackDown is some of the matches really have got nothing to do with SummerSlam. One of them has got everything to do with Clash at the Castle. So obviously we're going to be seeing Drew taking on Sheamus in a Donnybrook match. A Donnybrook match. This is basically a street fight with shillelaghs, and the winner will main event Clash at the Castle. And as I said, this is really, really interesting because normally with go-home shows, everything is to do with SummerSlam. It's to do with the pay-per-view that's coming up. It's video packages, promos, you know, maybe the odd match. But by and large, it's just the little finishing touches. Whereas tonight, we've actually got Drew against Sheamus in a Donnybrook match. We've got New Day taking on Viking Raiders. I mean, they're not doing anything at SummerSlam, apparently. So, New Day against Viking Raiders. Aaliyah and Lacey Evans. So, Lacey Evans, you know, coming out and berating the crowd, having a go at the crowd. That's got nothing to do with SummerSlam. So, I'm sure the rest of it will be video packages, and I'm sure there will be plenty of, like, final touches that get included. But, no, this is, you know, fair play to them. They are giving us what seemingly looks like a proper show, a proper SmackDown. So, exciting news. I hope everyone is well. Hello. Miguel said, spoiler alert, Zion Quinn and Solo Sikoa are going to join the Bloodline. People saying hello. Are you streaming SummerSlam? So, good question. The SummerSlam stream is on the Wrestling Escape Pod channel. It's already set up. You can go over there. You can click notify me. You can already leave your like. Don't think you can't. You can already leave your like. If you go over to the Wrestling Escape Pod channel, the same channel that did the Money in the Bank stream, the watch along for us is over there. On this channel, we've got UFC 277, Amanda Nunes trying to get back her championship from Juliana Pena. So, massive main event for UFC. It's just another one of those where WWE have decided to go up against the biggest UFC show of the month. And so we are going to do simultaneous streams. We're going to have a stream on this channel. Going to have a stream on the Wrestling Escape Pod channel. Yes, it's set up. It's all good to go. And as I said, you can jump over there and click on the notify me, and then that way you won't miss it when it starts. Where can I watch SmackDown online? Don't know, to be honest. There's a Watch Wrestling site that show it, but that keeps getting taken down because it's not the right side of legal. Other than that, I seriously don't know of anywhere else. Other than that, I mean, depends what country you're in. You know, in the UK, it's on BT Sports, so if you've got a subscription to them, you'd be able to watch it on their website. If you are in America, then it's USA Network, but I don't know where else it's shown online. So, don't know, depends what country you're in. Yeah, a lot of illegal streams tend to get taken down pretty quick. Almighty Supreme One says, Donnybrook match, woo! Hazza said, days with SummerSlam being tomorrow, where and how do you see Edge being involved? For me personally, I can see Finn and Damian taking out Dominic, and then Edge will help Ray. Thoughts? I feel like that's the most likely place to put him would be in that match. He's coming back for revenge against Judgment Day. Apparently coming back with Beth Phoenix. So this is quite a development. Edge not coming back on his own. He is coming back with someone. And the rumors are that person is Beth Phoenix. Now that makes sense because Beth can deal with Rhea Ripley. So Beth taking out Rhea Ripley makes sense. Edge coming back, obviously, to get revenge makes sense. Him teaming with Ray, who has been beaten up repeatedly, makes sense. It does leave Dominic as a bit of a spare wheel, in all fairness. It does leave Dominic a bit on the sidelines, and I don't know how Ray's going to feel about that. But to be honest, Judgment Day against Edge, Ray, and Beth Phoenix sounds pretty damn good to me. So sign me up for that. Put me down for that. I'm all right with that. But I don't know where it leaves Dominic, to be honest. And as we said, that could be a bit of a problem. What is a Donnybrook match, says Alan. A Donnybrook match is apparently, I mean, we've never seen one before. They do keep saying, like, historic Donnybrook match. I mean, it is historic because, to my knowledge, this is the first one. So I think Donnybrook is probably somewhere in Ireland. And it's basically a street fight with shillelaghs. So that's kind of what we're getting, basically. I mean, I believe there's no pin... I think they said no pinfalls, no count-outs, no submission. No, what was it? No count-outs, no DQs. I think it's pinfall, submission. That's the only way you can win the fight. So it's just like a street fight type situation. But with shillelaghs. So... Beth against Rhea would be good. I agree. Dominic could turn heel. Well, that would be great. Imagine if he doesn't turn tomorrow, right? But imagine he turns because of the fact he feels he's been pushed out. That would be a lot more interesting to me. I think that would be a richer story. Like the idea that, you know, he wants to be next to his dad fighting and taking on Judgment Day, but Edge has come back and sort of takes his place. And then Dominic starts to feel a bit, like, jealous. And as a result, that jealousy results in him attacking his father. Like, I think that's quite a good story. I think him just randomly joining Judgment Day is, I don't know, it's a bit... it's a bit hard to take. There could be a way forward with it. We've constantly been waiting for him to turn, but I do like the idea of him getting jealous and upset that he's been replaced by Edge. That could be something there. Donnybrook is a suburb district in Dublin. Planet Dan, shout out to you. Appreciate it. Austin, hello. Dark Angel said Edge isn't going to show tomorrow, but he will be on Raw on Monday. With Johnny Gargano making a video appearance on Impact, do you think that could affect Gargano being at SummerSlam? No. Or do you think Hunter has got Johnny Seth sorted? I can't say that he's got it sorted, but I do think that Gargano has probably got himself positioned as favourite now. I think that we know that Triple H loves him. We know that because he was basically the face of NXT. I mean, it was him and Adam Cole, you know, Tommaso Ciampa maybe, but those three in particular, I would say, have really carried NXT for like 3-4 years. I think that Triple H knows how important he is. I think he's going to want to push him. I think he's going to want to give him a hell of a run. I think that there was no way he could guarantee that when Vince was in charge, because we all know that Vince and smaller guys just isn't a match made in heaven. But now that Triple H has got the book and can do the booking, I think he can make those guarantees. He can turn around to Johnny and he can say, look, come back. I'm going to treat you right. You know I will. And what better time for Johnny to come in than now? What better time for him to come in than now? He's had a bit of time with his family. He's, starting to do conventions. He's in Nashville this weekend doing a Comic-Con meet and greet thing. So he's in the area, which, again, just leads to speculation. I mean, if Bray was doing a meet and greet in Nashville that weekend, the internet would flipping explode. So the fact that Johnny is there, I think, is very, very interesting. The fact that Riddle isn't really injured and has been taken out of that match because Triple H seemingly wants to do something else, again, is very, very interesting. So, for me, I think everything points to Johnny. Johnny being on Impact is a nothing story. I read online that apparently he just agreed to do it as a one-off. kind of just they asked him to send in a video message. He's not currently signed with WWE, and he's done that. So that's it. So no, it doesn't. That won't affect anything. But I think, I think it's looking pretty good. Him and Seth. I would say it's the name I'm expecting now. I think who answers the call for Seth? If it's anyone other than Johnny, or someone like AJ Styles. If it's AJ Styles or Johnny, that's what I'm expecting. Anyone other than that, if it's Bray, I'll be massively shocked. If it's Edge, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked because it's not a story that he's involved in. He's involved with the Judgment Day. So for them to put him in there with Seth, I think would be quite shocking. So, I'm feeling pretty good for Johnny Gargano being the opponent for Seth. I mean, obviously, they haven't even announced that Seth's still going to be there, but he's going to be there. Apparently, he has flown to Nashville. So, I don't know, maybe we get an answer tonight. I'm not saying that we get an answer that it is going to be Johnny, but maybe they announce that there will be Seth against a mystery person, which, again, is what I am expecting. I doubt that it'll be Bray, says Nebo. No, but just on the Bray thing, and I always like to, touch on it because it is such a fluid, ever-changing situation. I do think the chances of him returning have greatly increased. So I do think that if you are a Bray fan desperate for him to return, this news about Vince going is only good news. Have you seen Tyson Fury will be at WrestleFest same day as Clash at the Castle? No, I don't know what WrestleFest is. What's WrestleFest? I expect him to be at Clash at the Castle, so whatever WrestleFest is it a thing in the day and then he could do the show at night? I honestly don't know, but I am expecting him to be at Clash at the Castle. I know that they were in talks. Hasib said, with the news coming out regarding SummerSlam, are you gutted you're not doing a watch-along? We are doing a watch-along. There's a watch-along over on Wrestling Escape Pod channel, so as I said, you can jump over there, hit the notify me, and you can join the community. Because there's a lot of people that like to hang out with the community and like to watch the shows with, the people they see in the chat all the time. Well, that community will be at the Wrestling Escape Pod channel tomorrow, so you don't need to miss out. Anime Fiend said, do you expect Bray to return as the Fiend? I think he could. The only thing I would say is that I think he had done a fair bit with that character, and I think there's more that he could have done, but equally, I mean, he is very creative, right? No one's going to deny that. He's very creative. I think that he could come back with something fresh and something different. He's done, like, Cult Leader. He's done the Firefly Funhouse, which was great. I think that he could come back with something different. I think that I would lean towards that. I don't have anything wrong with The Fiend. I'm not a fan of supernatural stuff in wrestling. So I wouldn't want that to return, but I don't have a problem with The Fiend returning because I loved the Funhouse and all the stuff at the start when he was just like attacking people. I thought that was like really cool, and I love his split personality. In many ways, The Fiend, to me, when it first started, was very, very similar to Finn Balor and the Demon. The Demon isn't a supernatural character, or wasn't. Certainly, toward last time we saw him, they were leaning more that way. But throughout NXT and on the main roster, it was literally, I think I need to unleash the demon. And so he would just walk down to the ring dressed as the demon. I mean, it wasn't like a supernatural being. It was just him tapping into that darker side of himself. And it felt to me at the start that that's what Bray was doing as well. Bray was tapping into that darker side of himself, which was The Fiend. And I was really loving it. I mean, you can go back, you can watch the videos. We did reaction videos. We were doing theory videos. We was all over it, man. We were loving it. And then I did drift away from it because of it turning supernatural, and that's not my taste. I think, though, that he could either go back to The Fiend and go back to that kind of really psychological character, which I thought was so interesting, or he is so creative, he could genuinely come back with something different. And I think people would rather, and this might be controversial, but I think people would rather him come back with something different. And the reason I say that is because people love reading into things. I mean, look at how much people have read into the vignettes. I've got people sending me screenshots from the vignettes where, like, there's a shadow in the background and it looks a little bit like a W. And there's people like, that's a W, that means WWE. And the way that the lighting is, that's the same lighting that Bray had. And it's like, some of the stuff I get sent is pretty mental. Like, some of the stuff is pretty just people off their rockers, right? But people love doing that. That's one thing that we've really learned as a result of the Funhouse, is that fans love trying to be Sherlock Holmes, trying to figure things out. So I think anyone, and Bray is a master at this, that can really tap into that can really get the fans kind of tearing apart vignettes, looking for Easter eggs in the background. It's kind of a new level of interaction, really. Rather than just sitting and watching and reacting, now you're even more involved because you're tearing it apart and you're trying to find things and see if you can be the one that discovers the clue that unlocks it all. And people love that. Social media, it goes crazy over that. Absolutely crazy. It's one of the reasons why Liv Morgan got over the way that she did, because she had a decent following, but then do you remember she had a load of time off and she then was sending out a load of cryptic messages, and that resulted in people thinking she was going to join the Funhouse, and all of a sudden she got more over not wrestling than when she was wrestling, because people were looking into these tweets that she was sending out and they were all super cryptic and people were absolutely loving it. So I actually think you could bring The Fiend back and you could do what you've been doing, but if you brought back a different character, a different look, different vignettes, but still allowed people to read into them, people would love that. Wrestling fans would flipping love that. So I think it's up to him. I mean, first of all, let's get him back. Yeah, let's get him back and then see what he can come up with. But I think that Bray fans are going to love him whatever he does. Like, he can't do any wrong to them. And I think, like, wrestling fans in general, I think would like to see something fresh, something different. They always want the surprises. They always want something new. Could you imagine if a new character, something like The Fiend, but not The Fiend, came walking out? Could you imagine your reaction to that? And it's Bray. You'd be like, oh my God, is this Wyatt 6? What's this? And then, like, all of a sudden, Wyatt 6, how does that connect? And you're off, aren't you? To the moon! Jeremy, shout out to you. Said, I got my gold badge. Well done. Well done. Well done. Excellent work, my friends. Yeah, a few people picking up their gold badges, which is incredible. I think that means that they've been with the channel like 24 months. That's longer than me. Even I've not been here 24 months. So it's amazing. So shout out to you, dude. Brian said, Triple H's influence on the show tonight. Will it be at SummerSlam next week? When will we see change? So, I mean, I don't think you can really see we didn't see anything really on Raw. There's a couple of moments that you can point to and go, ooh, was that different than usual? You know, it started with a brawl, and there was a little bit of blood at the end. You know, maybe the pacing, but to be honest, I didn't think there was any difference. I mean, I think you're really having to scrape the barrel to try and find something from Raw. By and large, the consensus was it felt about the same as a normal Raw. There was no wholesale changes. I don't think you'll see anything tonight. I do think at SummerSlam, that will also largely go the way that it was planned. But he said that he wants to make a statement. I think he's desperate to put his stamp on things, because I think he knows that fans are watching now going, what's changed? What's different? But you can't change everything. You can't just rip up the scripts and rewrite Raw, SmackDown, SummerSlam, and just change everything. Like, you've got to get yourself settled. You got to have conversations with people and, like, get your ideas across. You need to tell them who you want to look to push, what kind of thing you want to focus on. Like, if you want to focus more in-ring, well, then they need to not be writing as many promos. If you want to get them right in their own promos, well, that's a massive change. Could you imagine if you was a wrestler and all this time you've been given your promos and now you've got to do them live, unscripted? That's a massive change. You couldn't just drop that on people. So it's going to be a process. I think you'll see little changes. Clearly, he's got something he wants to do at SummerSlam. Hence why Riddle is out, right? And I don't think it's really a reflection on Riddle. I just think that he knows that Seth is one of the best in-ring competitors, and whoever he's bringing in, be it Bray, be it Johnny, be it AJ, who he thinks isn't getting the opportunity he deserves, or whatever, he wants to go in a different direction. I'm sure he's had a chat with Riddle and said, listen, this is no reflection of you. I've just got something that I need to do for SummerSlam, and I'll make sure you're treated all right afterwards. So, yeah, these little changes, I think, are going to be, a process. But as I said, that's not a bad thing. Rome wasn't built in a day. Don't need everything right now. I think, really, just the optimism that's around of what's to come and what the future holds. That's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. Harry, shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate the support. Hope you are well. Let's go down. So we've had Jeremy, made it to 24 months. Harry, great supporter of the channel. We got Shane. Hello, Shane. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope you've had a good day. Shane said, good to see you, Days. We'll miss you tomorrow. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm here with the UFC, and as we said, we've got Wrestling Escape Pod. I know we keep shouting about it, but I keep getting people asking, where's the SummerSlam stream? I suppose what I need to do is put a link to it on this channel, but that's where the community will be. If you want to hang out with everyone, share your thoughts, halftime scores, full-time scores, the usual layout, all that kind of good stuff, it's going to be over at the Wrestling Escape Pod channel. Who do you think will win the Undisputed Championship at SummerSlam? Roman Reigns. Not surprised, but Naomi is going to do the same meet and greet as Sasha. I'll be honest, I feel like Naomi is just doing whatever Sasha does. If WWE convinces Sasha back, then Naomi will copy. Thoughts? Well, I think that Naomi, and I could be wrong on this, but I've never blamed her as much as I've blamed Sasha for that whole walkout thing. And I could be completely wrong on that. It feels to me that Naomi followed Sasha out the door. It feels like Sasha was the one that got upset, and Sasha's the one that walked out, and Naomi stood by her friend. I think her going and doing the meet and greet is a bit of a no-brainer. I think Sasha had got an opportunity to go to, CT2T, I don't know what it's called, C2E2 or something, and she got in there. Naomi, I think, now has been announced. I mean, she's not doing anything. I don't think she's even getting paid at the moment, because I think their suspension is unpaid. So, listen, if Sasha has been able to go and get this paid opportunity, then I think it makes sense for Naomi to go and get the same opportunity as well. So, yeah, I put a little thing on Twitter just saying, do you remember when the girls in primary school went to the bathroom and they used to hold hands? It kind of feels a bit like that. Wherever Sasha goes, Naomi follows. But I don't blame her for it. I also put on Twitter, I'm not hating about it. I just think it's just is what it is. I totally get it. I mean, she's not getting paid at the moment, to my knowledge. It's an opportunity to get some money in the door, and I don't blame her at all for taking that opportunity. So I think, like everyone, I just want to see this get resolved, to be honest. I mean, look, there's people out there that have got different opinions on this. Some people think they should be let go. Some people think they were unprofessional and they should be let go. Some people think that they should be brought back, right? Now, wherever you are on that argument, I think we can all just agree that this needs to get resolved. You can't just have this dragging on. It's been over 2 months now. So you've got to go in one direction. You've got to do something. So I just want to see it get resolved. For me personally, I would keep them. I think they're big stars. I think people make mistakes. I do think it was unprofessional, and I do think it was the wrong thing to do, and I haven't changed my mind on that, and I will never change my mind on that, unless other details come out that change my mind. But certainly from everything I've heard, I feel they did the wrong thing. But I don't want to see them lose their jobs. I don't want to see them lose their. I don't want to see anyone lose their jobs. So I think bring them back and let's try and put this mess behind us. And I've had people actually getting in touch saying, well, that sends the wrong message because, you know, what's stopping other people walk out if you just get brought back? And the truth is they've had 2 months unpaid. 2 months unpaid is, I would say, quite a good punishment. I feel like, you know, you were advertised for a show, you didn't turn up for it, 2 months suspension, you don't get paid for a couple of months. I mean, I feel like that's quite a slap on the wrist. Can you imagine if you, like, didn't turn up for work and the punishment was that you got 2 months unpaid? So I feel like we can move past it now. Delwyn said, evening, I love how Triple H spoke honestly about his new role and what he can bring to creative. He can tell me he will 100% change, and I am looking forward to that. Of course, it takes time. Yeah. Delwyn, appreciate the support, my friend. We did just do a video on that because shout out to Brady that sent me the clip. I didn't see it, but there was an interview that happened a few hours ago. Triple H at I think it was the tryouts, the SummerSlam tryouts. He was actually there overseeing like some of this new talent that they're looking to bring in. And he got interviewed and asked about him being in charge and being the head of creative. Now, obviously, the answers he gives, he's not going to go, yeah, okay, so what we're going to do is this. I'm going to push, I'm bringing Johnny Gargano back, right? I'm going to bring back Bray Wyatt. We're going to start pushing the smaller guys. We're going to invest more in tag team wrestling. Promos are going to be unscripted. He didn't, of course, he's never going to do that. Is he? He's never going to do that. Because a lot of that stuff, I would imagine, has still not been decided. I mean, honestly, he is just... Don't forget his talent relations as well. So any problems the wrestlers have got, he is their go-to. So X amount of time he's got to spend with his family and sleep. X amount of time he's got to be talking to superstars and trying to deal with their problems. X amount of time he's had to deal with these SummerSlam tryouts, right? X amount of time he's just having conversations with creative about future plans. So it's like, for him right now, this is going to be a whirlwind, absolute whirlwind. So there's no way he was going to like come out with specifics. But I did think what he came out with was very interesting. I agree. He came out and was saying like they're big shoes to fill. It can't be done by one person. It's going to need to be a team. It's going to be a team effort. And he name-checked Nick Khan, and more importantly, he mentioned Kevin Dunn. He mentioned Kevin Dunn by name, which I thought was quite interesting. Never mentioned Bruce Pritchard, which I thought was also interesting. And he spoke about how he wants to give the fans what they want. He said he wants to give the fans what they want and more. And as I said in the video that I did, again, you can look at that and go, oh my God, Johnny's coming back, Bray's coming back, they're going to push Ricochet and all this kind of stuff. It doesn't necessarily mean that, but what it does mean is that he does want to give the fans, you know, what they want. And obviously the fans want lots of different things, but I think what he's trying to say is that he wants to be more in tune with the fans. You know, largely, it didn't matter what the fans wanted. Vince would do what Vince wanted to do. I mean, Vince kept John Cena face all throughout Cena's run, and he kept Roman face for a very, very long time. So, you know, we really did stick with certain things because Vince wanted them. I feel under Triple H, he's going to be a lot more in tune with the fans. So I think, you know, if the fans are demanding Liv be champion, I think you get there quicker than we got there. And in all fairness, I don't even know if we would have got there. Rumours are that it was largely down to Ronda and a conversation Ronda had that resulted in Liv becoming champion. It wasn't even a Vince thing. So I think that the big takeaway I took from it is that Triple H is going to be more in tune with what the fans want. Now, I have to keep stressing the fans want different things. So if you're sat there going, oh great, finally Dolph's going to get a push. Well, no, there's no guarantee of that, because that might be what you want, but it's not necessarily what, you know, the masses are demanding, if you will. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Let's put it that way. So, but it will. You are right, Darren. It will take time. Right, I want to make sure I'm not missing, because I am literally the worst on YouTube for missing super chats. Elijah, hello, says, sup. Days, I am back for SmackDown. How are you? I'm doing good, bud, thank you. I'm doing all right. I'm living my best life. I am excited for this weekend. I'm obviously really looking forward to UFC. UFC has got a massive, and I know many people here aren't UFC fans, but that main event, we are talking about the greatest female fighter of all time trying to win back the belt she lost. And it's the biggest upset maybe in UFC history when Amanda Nunes lost her title, and now she's going to try and win it back. And I got to tell you, I've done a lot of research, and actually there's a hell of a lot of people thinking that she ain't going to do it. A lot of people saying that this is not straightforward. You know, she has stood toe-to-toe with so many women and blasted them away, and she couldn't do it to Juliana Pena, and that is a big concern. She went toe-to-toe with a woman that she could not put away. So what the flip happens tomorrow? So UFC is very exciting. And of course, SummerSlam. If anything big goes down in SummerSlam, we will be here for it. I will have it on at the same time, and we will put out little things. So I will try and get my thoughts out there as and when things are happening. So all those big moments, there will still be videos dropping on the channel. So we did it for Money in the Bank, and we'll do it again to Moz. Harley said, I would love to see proper Rollins versus Reigns feud for the world title. Could be like Triple H's boy, brackets Seth, versus Vince's boy, brackets Roman. And could kickstart the Triple H era with a new champion. Could be interesting. Listen, we can do anything now. The world is our oyster. Right, let's go down. Days, I have a weird feeling that we could see Paul Heyman turn on Roman. I don't know why I think this, but with Triple H in charge, he might now want a new champion and a new era, i.e. Theory. Thoughts? I think that he could want a new champion. He could want a new era. I also think, though, that there are plans that are in place that I think he could also want to follow. For example, Cody returning at the Rumble and then winning the title at WrestleMania is surely a story that you don't want to change. You don't want to change that. Cody doing what No Rhodes family member Dusty, Goldust, Stardust, here's Cody, trying to get this done. Never been done by a Rhodes family member before. Never won one of the big championships. And I do just think, why you wouldn't change that? So those plans, I think you keep in concrete. And honestly, the other plan could be Roman defending his belt against The Rock at WrestleMania, and that's too big to change as well. So I understand where people are coming from, but I think he's got so much to look at and so much going on that if he's happy with the plans in place for the titles over the next 6 months or so, and he's happy with where we're going, he's happy with the plans up till WrestleMania, he likes Cody winning it, he likes doing Rock Roman, and he likes the belt being involved, there's every chance, just as much chance, he just sticks with that plan. And don't forget, you're going to have Vince in his ear. Those big decisions, who's champion, Vince is 100% still in his ear, because Vince is still the majority shareholder, and so he's still got loads of power. And if Vince doesn't feel that the big picture is right, then I'm sure he's still going to make his feelings known. So yeah, he could absolutely change things. If he said to Vince, look, we're still going to do Cody, we're still going to do Rock Roman, we're still going to do all that good stuff, but I want to pull the trigger on Theory now, I'm sure Triple H could do that. But my guess would be that Theory's title reign would be short, because we would eventually get back to the plans that they had for next year anyway. So it's an interesting time. There's lots of things that could happen. I mean, it's all just speculation. But yeah, I've got to think they've probably got it planned the title picture, I reckon they've got planned up until next year. I would think they know who is beating Roman and when it's happening. I think they would know if they want to get to 1,000 days or not. I mean, it's got to be a question. Someone has surely asked Vince, how long is Roman having the belt for? When are we dropping it? Who's he dropping it to? And Vince could have said, look, we'll have him drop it to Drew at Clash at the Castle. He could absolutely, and that could have always been the plan. We'll do the big UK show. We'll have Drew win the title there, and it'll massively put Drew over. And so that could be the plan. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not privy to that information, but I would imagine that there are plans for the title picture that he might change, he might not. Brenton says, hope you are well. Are you undecided on streaming Ric Flair's last match? Yes. Briscoe's Von Erichs might be reason to stream. Looks like a solid card. It looks like a solid card. To be honest, though, the reason that I'm undecided isn't if it's a solid card or not. It's the interest that's in that card. It's the amount of people that are going to join us, because I have to weigh up what's the best use of my time. I mean, I could use Sunday to make 3-4 debut videos, probably 3. And I could potentially look to get a video out where we do like a little conversation piece. I mean, honestly, we could do a video just talking about what happened at SummerSlam, the fallout of it, what does it mean for the future, all that kind of stuff, because obviously Saturday night is going to be very heavy with streams, and so Sunday night will be the first opportunity to kind of sit down and do a bit of a review stream. I mean, I'll try and do a review stream on Saturday night anyway, but it's going to be, I can't guarantee it'll be a stream. There's every chance it'll be a quick video because it's going to be late. By the time UFC ends, if I do a thing, it could be like 2 o'clock in the morning. So, do you know what I mean? There's no point doing a stream then. Everyone's in bed. So, 2 o'clock Eastern time, by the way. That would be like 7 o'clock UK time. So, my thoughts are, what's the bigger thing? What's the better way forwards? Is it better to do Ric Flair's last match and that card, which does look like a good card, but honestly, if the masses aren't that into it, it's going to be more beneficial for me to do a SummerSlam review. And I must admit, at the moment, I'm probably leaning to the SummerSlam review, because I think our community is a lot more WWE focused than, and the Briscoes just ain't going to really be a needle mover for us. But I don't deny the card does look very impressive. I think they have done a very good job with that. Miss Clown said, did you see the Mattel triple pack I tweeted you? Was it the Raw one? Because there was one that got shown at San Diego Comic-Con. Let's have a look. I can't remember. I've been firing through tweets as and when I can. I am trying, if possible, to be I don't know, but I'm gonna guess that it was the Raw one, and if so, it was great. Do you think Bray Wyatt comes back tomorrow? No. Who do you think will win, Usos or Street Profits? Usos. Chicken Nug said, if it's Johnny tomorrow, who wins? Johnny shouldn't lose on his debut, but Seth's taken a lot of losses recently. Yep. I would have Gargano win. I think it's more important he wins his debut. And I would make a story out of getting really concerned about his year. You know, I would actually turn it into a story whereby Seth's like, I'm better than this. And actually, maybe that helps evolve his character a little bit more. I think because what is his character? I mean, the Messiah stuff was god-awful. It was awful. It didn't make any sense. You know, he was just delusional. He spoke about being a Messiah. He had disciples, but it came out of nowhere. It didn't mean anything. There was no depth to it. There was nothing about it. It was just like, he wanted to sacrifice Ray's eye and all this kind of stuff. But again, there was no backstory to it. So I just couldn't get with that. I think this evolution of his character is better now, but it still doesn't mean anything. He just wears wacky clothes, cackles, dances his way down to the ring. You know, I kind of feel that you could do you could do more with Seth. You could evolve it further. I don't mind the cackle. I don't mind the wacky clothes. But I think I'd be really on board with him having some self-doubt, really questioning himself, trying to figure out where he's gone wrong and why he's picking up so many losses. So I would make a story out of it. So I'd have Gargano win. Let's go down. Can someone tell me when it's starting? 20 minutes. What Vince did to LA Knight is a damn shame, says Lance. Yeah, Maximum Male Models, is it? Maximum Male Models is going to be led by Maxine Dupree now, which I've got to admit I think is going to kill that group. I think that Max Dupree is a fantastic talker, one of the best in the business, so charismatic that I saw this as a way of introducing him and then, you know, him going off and being the great talent we know he is. So I wasn't bothered that he was the manager of Maximum Male Models. Didn't bother me in the slightest. I knew this was a way just to introduce him to the main roster and boom, off you go. I think though, taking him out of this group's dead, because I don't think Mansoor's got or Mansoor has got much in the way of charisma. Certainly, I've never seen it. Mace, I'm not aware that he's got tons of charisma. I mean, I can't say he was blowing my mind when he was on commentary. And I don't know about that Maxine Dupree, but is she really going to be as good as Max Dupree? Is she going to be as engaging? Is she going to be as good a promo? Like, at the moment, I would have to lean towards it being unlikely, just because he's so good. I mean, maybe she is a fantastic talent, and that's why they've brought her up early, because we never even saw her much in NXT. So she could be fantastic, but my gut initial feeling is that this is going to be really bad for that group. It's going to be really bad. I think you've taken the one big credible thing away from it, and the one thing that I thought it was there to launch, basically. I thought this was a vehicle to launch Max Dupree to the main roster and also give Mason Mansoor something to do. But now you've taken Max Dupree away. You've put a woman in that I don't know. And I'm intrigued by it. I mean, I can't wait to see if she's any good or not. But I've got my concerns over it now. I used to be on board with Maximum Male Models. I used to think it was all right. Just a load of heels being arrogant, thinking they look really good and posing and showing off. I mean, that's what heels do, right? And you're not really meant to like it. You're not meant to sit there and go, this is amazing, because it's meant to annoy you. That's the whole purpose of it. So I actually thought it was doing a really good job of upsetting people and them being heels and arrogant and all this kind of stuff. But now you've taken like one of the best, most credible aspects away. Don't know. Matt, shout out to you, bud, says, will the Levesque way be obvious or subtle? Will we be able to point to definitive moment when an actual transition happens? Well, there's no way of answering that, because to be honest, there's two ways that you could do it. You could either do it where it's a gradual process and you start making and introducing changes. So it could be that you're like, right, let's start not scripting promos. I'm going to tell the talent that in 2 weeks, no more scripted promos. What we're going to do is when you arrive, you're going to be told your segment. We're going to tell you the key points that we need you to mention, and it's going to be down to you to write them. And so you could do that. And then a few weeks later, you could have a look at who's being, pushed in the kind of women's division. And you could have a look and see, right, I really want to start getting going with such and such now. So you've got the promos 1 week. You've looked at the women's division another week. You might look at the tag division a few weeks after. So you could do it that way, where you could stagger it. That way you can give each area a lot of focus, like, for that week, and get the plate spinning, if you will. Or you could sit down, change it all, but just it will drop in about a month's time. So you've got about a month whereby, right, we're going to push this person. We're going to do this with the tag teams. We're going to do this with the promos. And you could just do it all at the same time. For me personally, I'm a naturally cautious person. So I'm the kind of person that's very cautious, tentative, that kind of thing. I would do it a bit by a time. I personally wouldn't do it all in one go. I think it probably sends a bigger statement, but it also carries a lot more risk because there's more things that can go wrong. You know, anything could go wrong. Like, you know, someone could really buckle under the spotlight. You know, promos could be failing. Like, there'd be a lot of stuff that you'd be having to oversee and a lot of potential problems. It might be better to spend a couple of weeks on Summit, get it going, get the plate spinning, and then spend another few weeks on something else and get that plate spinning, right? And then go 2 weeks later onto something else, another couple of weeks onto something else, and just kind of introduce it that way. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. There's no way of knowing which way Triple H will go. For me personally, I would stagger it, but yeah, who knows? Will it be one big, here's everything, or will it be staggered? I think it will be in 12 months, obvious. So just to answer that, I think however he does it, I think if you watch Raw in 12 months' time, I think, and you compare it to now, I think you will be able to go, well, that's different, that's different, that's different, that's different. And I think that the changes will be obvious because he knows that there are things that he wouldn't do. I mean, he knows that WWE have done tons of stuff that was not the right way forward. And it all happened because that's what Vince wanted. It's like you, I mean, you watch Raw and SmackDown, and there's no way everyone out there loves everything that they get. I know that we get a lot of 10 out of 10s, but you can't tell me even those people that score 10 out of 10 wouldn't change something, or wouldn't bring Bray back, or they wouldn't bring The Rock back, or who knows, yeah? I'm sure if they could do anything, they would go and change some stuff, right? And, I mean, for us that are scoring it like 6, 5, those kind of scores, there's plenty that we would change. Triple H is no different. Triple H isn't sitting backstage going, this is perfect. Everything Vince does is absolutely perfect. Of course he's not. No one is, apart from Vince. But that's fine because at the end of the day, it's the ratings. You look at the results. Doesn't matter if you agree with it. If you work for WWE, you look at the number. And if the number's good, then it was the right thing to do. If the number's bad, then it was the wrong thing to do. It's a real simple way of knowing what's right and what's wrong is, you know, how does it perform? And so for Triple H, you might not have agreed with it, but if the numbers were good, you go with it. Now he can do whatever he wants. And I think now you will see the Triple H effect. What that is, we still don't quite know, but the good idea. And it is well thought out stories. It's non-scripted promos. It's more kind of focus on wrestling. You don't get as much kind of silly comedy. You know, I mean, you do get like the odd bits of kind of comedy stuff. I'm not saying that they didn't do comedy in NXT, but certainly, you know, things like, I don't know, Miz and Morrison chucking tomatoes around, that kind of stuff. You're not getting those kinds of things. You know, Bobby Lashley's sisters, that kind of stuff. I think, you know, those kind of segments might be a thing of the past. And that's not really a bad thing. You do need to kind of cater a bit more to family, I think, though. You do need to cater a little bit more to family on the main roster than you do in NXT. I feel like NXT was a more mature product. But, and Triple H has said that as well. You can't get away with as much on Raw and SmackDown as you could in NXT. So there's going to have to be compromise. But by and large, I think in a year's time, you will see plenty of change. Ernesto said, most eventful 3 months in wrestling of the decade. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that is definitely something. I think that is definitely something that I agree with. I think this has been an incredible period. I mean, you really would struggle to say of another kind of time where we've had so much that's happened. Will Triple H in charge, with Triple H in charge, if he pushes people Vince isn't fond of, like Shotzi, Shayna, Ricochet, T-Bar, for example, how long will Vince sit back until he says, whoa, what the hell are you doing? How long will Vince sit back? It depends what he's doing. It depends what he's doing. I mean, look, Triple H, I think, will be able to do what he wants. And as long as the ratings come in, he can always point to that as being, you know, a positive. So, in a way, I think he's got freedom to kind of do what he wants. I do think, though, that if he's going to start pushing someone Vince really disagrees with, Vince will be on the phone. I think if the ratings start to wobble, Vince will be on the phone. Like, Vince is going to be right there. He's absolutely going to be right there. But I think the whoa, what are you doing? I don't think that's going to come unless it's something Vince really disagrees with, or if it's we're seeing the ratings starting to fall. By and large, I think Vince has probably got other things he needs to focus on right now. Little bit random, but is there any news on Mustafa Ali? No. He had one feud and completely disappeared. Do you think they'll start to use him soon? They could do. I think Vince didn't have much time for him, but I think that Triple H will have more. I can't say that Triple H is going to do much with him, but I think that Triple H, I think I'm right in saying, was booking the Cruiserweight Classic and was overseeing 205 Live. And he was a big player on that show. I do also wonder if we might see a Cruiserweight division come back because, you know, we had a Cruiserweight Classic, we had a Cruiserweight Championship, we had a Cruiserweight show. I don't think that was being driven by Vince. I think that was being driven by Triple H. I think that giving the smaller guys something to do, I mean, that's just not an interest to Vince. I think that was a Triple H thing. I think they went out, they got what they thought was the best cruiserweights, and that's why we got 205 Live. That's why we got the Cruiserweight Classic. Out of that came the likes of Mustafa Ali, Tony Nese, Brian Kendrick came back to work in that division. I think was Buddy Murphy involved in it for a bit as well. I seem to remember him having some matches. Drew Gulak was in that. We even had Kota Ibushi in that Cruiserweight Classic. Gran Metalik, Lince Dorado. You know, Zack Sabre Jr. was involved in that. Even Johnny Gargano took part, and Tommaso Ciampa. So I could see Triple H looking at WWE thinking, I need a belt for the smaller guys. Like, I'm either going to have to put the smaller guys in with Brock and Roman, which doesn't feel great, or I need to give them their own belt, but make that belt important, which is something we've been saying needs to happen for a long time. You can go back on old streams. I've said it forever. I stand by it. I say it now. I said it then, now, forever. They need a belt for the smaller guys that needs to be treated as important as the WWE Championship. It should be WWE Heavyweight, WWE Middleweight, yeah, or, you know, something along those lines. For me, I don't think Cruiserweight is quite the right term to go with. I don't think people quite know what a Cruiserweight is. Maybe heavyweight and light heavyweight. Maybe you go with something like that. Heavyweight or middleweight. Or, yeah, I don't think junior heavyweight sounds very good. Makes them sound young. I would go with heavyweight, light heavyweight, I think. We have had a light heavyweight championship before. But I feel like, you know, light heavyweight, that's where you get your Finn Balor's, you get your Johnny Garganos, you get your Tommaso Ciampas, you get your Rey Mysterios. Anyone that's just that bit smaller than your Drews, your Bobby Lashley's, your Brock Lesnar's, your Roman Reigns's, all that kind of stuff. And there's no reason why you still can't have people of that size competing for the heavyweight title. I just think it would be good if the smaller guys had something for themselves, because we've said before, look at boxing. Some of the biggest stars in the history of boxing are not the heavyweights. Look at Floyd Mayweather. Tiny. He's tiny. But one of the biggest pay-per-view draws ever. Look at Canelo right now. Small. I mean, going up to light heavyweight was a challenge for Canelo. But one of the biggest pay-per-view draws of all time. Look at Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, honestly, if you met him in the street, you'd trip over him. Small guy. No disrespect, but he's like 150 odd pounds. Like, he fights in their lightweight division. Nowhere near the heavyweights. Nowhere near. Couldn't be further away if he tried. So there's money to be made in the smaller guys. Money to be made. And they've left so much money on the table over the years. So much money. That they could really unlock that now. They could really, really unlock that. And yeah, it'll be interesting. Be interesting to see if we do get like a Cruiserweight or Light Heavyweight Championship coming in. Be interesting to see what opportunity the smaller guys get. I think all of that and the tag division is really what I'm looking at from this new Triple H era, if you will. Brian said, do you know they've reverted SummerSlam back to TV 14? Oh, that's interesting. So it was TV 14, then it went to PG, now it's gone back to TV 14. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Dark Knight said, I'm not a big fan of the McPlant burger. I've had better. If you are creative, you could make better with good sauces and cheeses. James Maskell said, I'm worried for Ric Flair. He doesn't need to do this final match. We've seen what happens to old wrestlers that aren't quite prepared. I'm a bit concerned for him, but to be honest, I know he's been training. I've seen the footage of him with Jay Lethal, and my thoughts are that they are going to basically have gone through everything they're going to do in training, and it's just going to be that. I don't think he's going to do anything he's not been training for. I don't think that he's going to go incredibly long. It's a tag match. I would imagine Andrade, Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, I would imagine they're going to carry the bulk of it, and then he will come in and have moments, and those moments I would imagine have been well rehearsed. So it could be a fine match, because I think that they will have rehearsed it again and again and again and again and again. That's the advantage. If you only have one match every once in a while, you've got plenty of time to then rehearse it and, you know, get it the way you want it and perfect it, because you haven't got to worry about house shows. You haven't got to worry about, you know, I've got another match to do on SmackDown. You haven't got to worry about anything like that. You've just literally got one match to prepare for. So I feel like it'll be, well, obviously hope it'll be okay. But yeah, it'll be good. I think it'll be a good event, and I like the build for it. There was another video that dropped today as we were building towards this final match. So yeah, I'm down for it. Triple H is having to clean up Vince's mess in more ways than one, but Seth is one of the main examples. He's consistently losing big matches, and I think a loss to Gargano might hurt him badly. Oh, I disagree. I don't think a loss to Gargano hurts him at all. I don't think that in wrestling fans' eyes, I don't think Seth right now is a weak wrestler. I don't think people are looking at him thinking he's done, he's washed up, he's losing all the time, he's rubbish now. I don't think they're bored of seeing him. In fact, if you look, there's so much excitement as to who is he going to face. I feel that right now, the WWE Universe is really excited about, well, who's going to be facing Seth. I'm not seeing anyone saying, oh, I'm not really bothered who Seth gets because he's losing all the time anyway. I'm not seeing that conversation. You know, I could understand it if it was like, I don't know, flipping Heath Slater or Zack Ryder when they were around and they were constantly losing. Then you might be like, not really too bothered who they face. But with Seth, I think he's got to the point where he's such a big star and he's so over. He can take these, he can absorb these losses, and it's only going to take a run of, you know, wins. It's only going to take a bit of momentum, and he'll be right back, main event again. I mean, no doubt right now he's on the back burner. I don't disagree with that. He's on the back burner. Not so far on the back burner that he's in catering, but on the back burner in regards to we need to get Cody over, and we need to get like other people over. And so Seth's just a great worker that's taken a lot of losses at the moment, which I'm sure is upsetting diehard Seth fans, but he's doing, do you know what? He's doing what he needs to do. He's doing the greater good. He's doing God's work, yeah? He's not thinking about himself, yeah? He's going in there and he's putting others over and he's making others look good. And he's in a privileged position where he's so over he can do that and get through it and, you know, come back. But, no, nothing but respect to Seth. Nothing but respect for him to, you know, do like the job so many times, get others over, help get Edge over. I mean, Edge is over anyway, but give him great matches, because this final run could have been a disaster for Edge. You know, there was no guarantee that he was going to come back and be as good as what he's been. But it's because of Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, that have really made Edge look great. And Edge's hard work as well. But no, nothing but respect to Seth. He's had some of the best matches this year, even if he has lost them to Cody. And which I actually don't think he should have lost the Hell in a Cell one, personally. I think that, you know, the matches before were so close that him going up against an injured Cody, who was so badly injured, that kind of felt like that was one he should have won. He should have won that one. But I think if you bring in Johnny Gargano to the main roster, I think starting him off with a loss is, I would argue, more harmful, because you need to get him across as being a big player. Here's this new guy, and he means business. But that's what we said. Each to their own. This is why it's so intriguing. I feel that way. Others are going to feel different. How does Triple H feel? Right, we've got some at ringside. It is a bar. So it's going to be... So we are seeing like a pub bar kind of vibe. Getting ready for the Donnybrook match. And that's going to start the show, actually. Donnybrook match kicks us off. So, welcome to SmackDown. So, Donnybrook match starting off the show. Let's change this over. So, Donnybrook match. So this is, I suppose, in a way, they're making it look like a bar fight, really. Sheamus has come out and attacks early. So Sheamus attacking Drew. Trying to hurl him into some barrels. One is Scottish, the other is Irish. Neither of them are Welsh. That's true. What's the background wallpaper for SummerSlam? I think it's quite simple, actually. I think it's being kept simple. Primo said, I do feel a little concerned with Cody in WWE under Triple H. It's the same person that threw some shade, getting smashed and light remarks. I think it'll be all right, to be honest. I think it'll be all right. The reason why I say that is because apparently one of the first people to come and see Cody when he returned, knocked on the door, walked into his trailer, was Triple H. Apparently he came in, they had a good chat, no hard feelings, welcome back home, all this kind of good stuff now. Is he secretly harbouring some kind of inner hatred for Cody? I don't think so. I don't think so. He needs Cody. He knows how big of a star he is. And I can definitely see them still progressing with the plans they have. So it's a good thought. It's interesting. I understand why you would say it, but I don't think Triple H really feels anything. I think he's got a lot of other things to focus on. Sheamus has grabbed a shillelagh, and into the ring comes Sheamus. Hardvick, shout out to you, my friend. Hope you are well. Appreciate the support. Darcy said Seth feels credible because of his wrestling capability, not his booking. His character is a bit odd, but he still has great matches. I think the great matches, I think how great those matches have been, have definitely helped with that credibility, as you said. I think he's got a lot of credibility in the bank because of what he's achieved, but then he's gone out there this year and given the fans some of the best matches they've seen. And as you said, even though he's ended up on the losing side of it, I feel like he's got enough credibility in the bank to weather that. It's not a losing streak that should go on forever. It's not a losing streak that should go on like, you know, for the next 12 months or anything. But I do think you have to look at it on a case-by-case basis. Like, is it right that he put Cody over? Yes. You know, is it right that he put Edge over? Yes. Would it be right that he puts Johnny Gargano over, making his main roster debut? I would think yes. But there will have to come a point where he starts winning. Drew tries to grab a table and drops it. So, Sheamus. We are seeing them going under the ring. Sheamus thrown into the commentary area. Into the ring steps. Sheamus's great-great-grandfather, apparently. So, Sheamus's great-great-grandparents, apparently, are in the pictures. Table being set up. Do you think Roman loses at Clash at the Castle? No. The green on the flag is not at the flag side. The green at the flag is not at the flag side. I don't know, what does that mean? Strike. And again. So, Sheamus using this shillelagh and driving it into the eye of Drew. So, shillelagh in the eye for Drew McIntyre. Who do you think will win this match, Drew? I need to see a picture of the flag, but that's funny if they've got it wrong. Let's have a look. I mean, the colours are correct. It is the wrong... It's upside down. The flag's upside down, basically. So it should be green... Should be green, white, and orange. They've got it orange, white, and green. In fact, orange, white, and green is the flag, according to this, for Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast. Yeah. So, hanging it upside down is the flag for Ivory Coast. I wonder why Sheamus hasn't told them that. It's the right colours. It's the right flag. It's just the wrong way round. Suplex by Drew. Do you think Austin Theory will cash in tomorrow night? I think he'll try, and I think he'll fail. Into the ring post goes Sheamus. Into the ring steps. Into the barrels. Sheamus into the barrels. Right, we are at commercial break. Are you checking Commonwealth Games? I know you're from Birmingham. I'm kind of keeping an eye on them, yes. I mean, it's big for Birmingham. So, Commonwealth Games, obviously the Commonwealth is like a group of countries. Australia, Canada, UK, Singapore. Kind of the countries that made up the empire, if you will, which has now turned into the Commonwealth. And it's a big deal. And it's being held in Birmingham, which is where my family are from, and where I've probably spent, other than Stourbridge, more of my life than anywhere else. So, yeah, it's a big, big deal. It's a big, big deal. On TV, it's TV coverage today. It started, I think, at think it was like 10 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning and ended at like 7 or 10 at night. Like, it was about 12 hours of TV coverage on our main channel. So it's a big deal. So yeah, I've been watching a few bits of it, but to be honest, I mean, it's not the Olympics. The Olympics, but still very cool. Retro D-Man, shout out to you, said 7 months. Well done. Would Theory winning be that bad? Would Theory winning be that bad? No, it wouldn't be that bad. It wouldn't bother me if Theory was to win. I think that if Roman's beaten up, Brock's beaten up, and he comes down, takes advantage, I would maybe question as to why the Usos didn't stop him. I'd need to know where they were. I suppose you could always have Dolph interfere, but the good thing is, if Dolph doesn't interfere, if I'm Dolph, I'm thinking I can beat Theory. I'm not sure I'm thinking I can beat Roman, but I can beat Theory. So in a way, I might let Theory cash in, because if I'm feuding with Theory, I'm basically feuding with the champion. And so if I'm Dolph, I might let him cash in. I might allow him to cash in kayfabe, of course, so that it means I get a title opportunity out of it and a good chance of winning. But no, it wouldn't be that bad. I wouldn't be like against it. It's the end of the world. I do think it'd be a shame that that's how the Roman title reign ends. This historic title reign ends with, you know, someone cashing in on him, which I think would be a bit of a shame. But, I mean, Theory can go around gloating about the fact that he ended the title reign. I mean, it'd be good for that, but I don't see it happening, because I think the main event at Clash at the Castle is Roman and Drew. Roman against Drew, Clash at the Castle, titles on the line. I just can't see how Theory is going to prevent that, unless he wins and then loses the belts, but that would be a disaster. Theory doesn't get much from that. And what we do is we throw away a historic title run. So I wouldn't do that. But no, I don't think it would be the worst for Theory to win. But I think Theory then has to go into Clash at the Castle as champion. And then I think you've got to do, say, Drew against Theory. And then you've got to do Roman against someone else. And I don't think that's as good. Rest with Andy said, are you going to watch the Flair match? To be honest, I don't know. We were talking earlier about it. I'm kind of torn on it. I think if I don't stream it, I won't watch it. If I do end up streaming it, then of course I will watch it. But I think it's like $40-odd, £40-odd or something. So yeah, I can't get a read. I just really can't figure it out. I am getting people ask about it, but not loads. So it's like, man, do you do SummerSlam? Do you do the Flair's last? What do you do? What do you do? You can make an argument that you could actually still do both, but I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing that Flair's last match is going to be long, so. Hello, mate. How you doing? Shout out to Mr. Rotella. Looking forward to tomorrow. Ballyho. Hope you're well, Mr. Rotella. I haven't seen Mr. Rotella in forever. Where you been, mate? What you been up to? I did actually search for your channel probably about 3 weeks ago or so now. Just thought, I'll check in, see what he's up to. And I couldn't find it. So I'm guessing you've probably moved on to a different platform or different content, or maybe moved away from that altogether, but I hope you're well. I, as I said, did have a look about 3 weeks ago or so. So, yeah, let us know what you've been up to. Shane, welcome. Hope you're well, buddy. Welcome back. Negative Nigel's here as well. Negative Nigel said, I'm not looking forward to SummerSlam, but what would you expect? Negative Nigel, I wouldn't want anything else. Imagine if you had positivity. That would suck. Belly to Belly by Drew. Sam said, why don't you do a poll? See how many people would... Do you know what, Sam? That's a great idea. Rather than sitting here going, no, I don't know, why don't I do something about it? That is the kind of kick up the backside I need. What shall we do on Sunday? So what shall we do on Sunday? Shall we do a SummerSlam kind of recap / future of WWE stream? So that's where we're going to look at SummerSlam, talk about it in depth, get your thoughts, kind of, because as I said, I don't think I'll be able to do that on Saturday night. So we could do all of that on Sunday. Nice 2-hour stream, something like that. Loads of stuff about SummerSlam. Loads of stuff about what does this mean for the future. If Johnny Gargano comes back, then we can talk about what does that mean. If there's a new champion, we can talk about what that means. If Bray comes back, we can talk about what that means. We can do all of that kind of stuff in that. Or do we do Ric Flair's last match? The card for the Ric Flair's last match is very impressive. It looks really good. It looks really strong card, and I think the build for Ric Flair's last match has looked good as well, so I am torn, to be honest. Future shot. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Sheamus. Sheamus gets his shoulder up. We're trying to decide who is going to main event at Clash at the Castle. There we go. Bang. A 2-hour conversation just about Amos and Goldberg would be dream. Wow, that should have been option 3, shouldn't it, really? Do we do a 2-hour show just on Amos and Sheamus? 1, 2... Oh, shoulder up. So, gets planted onto some chairs. They're in the ring. We've had plenty of chairs. Need to turn our attention here. Oh, from behind. Ridge attacks from behind. Nails Drew. Oh, big strike by Sheamus. 1, 2. Oh, shoulder up by Drew. Shoulder up by Drew. That was close. Looks like Ridge needs to do a little bit more work here. But Ridge coming in, nailing Drew. And only resulting in a 2 count. Ridge goes... Ridge hurled into a table. Who's going to Clash at the Castle? Mr. Rotella said, I'm on Rumble in Florida with Elder Sour. I write social media and speeches. I do a grown-up job. Wow. That's cool. So you've proper got into politics. That's cool. That's cool. I've never been on Rumble. I don't know much about it, to be honest. But... yeah, if I get a chance, I'll have to try and jump over and check out what you're up to these days. Because I used to enjoy watching your stuff on YouTube. So, yeah, good. Good that you're doing well and working with Elder. Tell Elder I say hello. I still see him sometimes. I haven't chatted to him in ages, but I do still see him sometimes on, like, Twitter and whatnot. So, yeah, I know he's around. The mic keeps cutting out. Does it? Do you know what it might be? Actually, I've got this new adapter that I bought, and I don't think there's much power going into it. So as a result, I think the mic's probably got less power going into it. Well, let me try and I'm going to try and plug the microphone straight into the PC. Hang on. We can do this. Right, hopefully that's better. Hopefully that's going to be better. I've got this adapter, which is really good because it allows me to kind of, like, plug loads of stuff in. I haven't really got many USB ports. I'm a poor man. I don't have many USB ports. So I bought some extra ones, but this isn't powered. So as a result, I think I don't think the microphone quite gets the power it needs. Should now, though. It's plugged straight into the PC, so... I've made a lot of sandwiches during this SHEAMUS segment over the years, says Brent. If Triple H is in charge of creative and talent relations, then who do you complain to if you're unhappy with the booking, as Triple H is in charge of both? Well, I think that's good. I actually don't think that's a bad thing, because I think if you don't like booking, the person that's in charge of it is really the best person to go and talk to, because you don't need the middlemen. You need to cut all of that out. If you've got a problem with how you're being used, is it not the best thing to go and speak to the person that's using you that way? Because you can then potentially try and change their mind, or at least get a bit of understanding of where they're coming from, where this is leading, why they're booking you that way. So, and if you don't like it, well, at least you've been given your answer. There's no one that can give you a better answer than the person that's doing it. So, I don't mind that so much. The bigger problem is, has he got time to do both jobs? Has he got time to be talent liaison and also head of creative? Like, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's a lot to do. So I don't know how long that's going to stay that way. But listen, if I wasn't happy with how I was being used, I would love to get an opportunity to speak to the person that was responsible for that. Days, who will win, Sheamus or Drew? I think Drew, buds. Even Logan has got more charisma than Dominic Mysterio. Don't understand why he's on the main roster. Beside his debut match at 2020 SummerSlam. Yeah, he was quite good in that. I will give him props for that. I thought it was, but the build for that had been quite good as well. It kind of felt like the story they used to bring him in was a good story. And the payoff at SummerSlam was good. Since then, it's been just pretty bland. I mean, he can do some stuff in the ring. It's not like he gets lost, but I do agree his charisma is lacking. I just think he's in the shadow of his dad. I mean, I think it'd be better for him if he went away from Ray, rather than, you know, how are you ever gonna get out of your dad's shadow if he's always there? Are you on football days on Sunday for the women's Euro? No, it's another one I've debated because I am watching it, and so I have debated watching it, but it's, yeah, I don't know. I'm really torn. I feel like SummerSlam will have a lot of conversation on the night, so do the Flair match, says Noah. But what's a WWE? Yeah, but the only problem is we're doing UFC, and then after UFC, I will do a video about SummerSlam, 100%. But it'll only be the results and kind of an overview of my thoughts on it. It's not going to be the back and forth that we tend to have on these watch-alongs. So that's my thought. Sheamus jumps out the ring. He grabs Drew and goes to hurl him into the bar, but it's Sheamus that goes into the bar. So Sheamus goes into the bar. The bar doesn't break. It does move back a little bit. The pictures fall on the floor. There's beer all over the floor. He goes to throw him into it again, and again it doesn't break. Only a little bit of it comes off. Butcher launches himself off the top of a barrel. I should imagine that bar not breaking was quite moody. There's a chair that gets broken across the back of Drew as well. Yeah, he threw him twice into that bar. I think that bar was meant to break. It didn't break the first time, so he went for it again, and it still didn't really break. And you've got Drew slipping around on the beer as well, so... Pete Dunne launching himself, a.k.a. Butch. Launching himself from the skies. White noise from the second rope. And kick out by Drew. This match continuing. It's a good scrap. I'll give him that. It's a good scrap, this. Sheamus is bleeding. Barrel of Butches. Sounds like a kid's game. Do you think that Roman could lose at Clash at the Castle now that Triple H is in charge? No. Darcy said, there's been a lot of talk about the small guy potentially having more opportunity, but is it still possible the big guy loses their push? Could someone like Amos fade away? Yeah, to be honest. There's a giant shillelagh that's just been produced here. It's a shillelagh that's massive, and it's got what look like thorns, bubbles all down the side. And he goes to hit Drew with it. He drops the shillelagh. Drew smacks Butch in the midsection. Wallop Sheamus with it. Drops it down. You got Butch in the corner. He rolls out the ring. Sheamus over the other time. This could be the beginning of the end. Drew. Claymore to Butch. Oh. Brogue. 1, 2. Kick out by Drew. Drew kicks out of a brogue. Drew kicks out of a brogue. So Drew kicking out of a brogue kick. Brent said, you mentioned your report, not for long. The actual journalism, what it is, really top notch versus anyone it matches up to. Brent, shout out. Really appreciate the kind words, dudes. Really appreciate the kind words. We're focused on the wrestling channel now. Yes, we're back. That's the message that I hope gets out there. We're back. So we were doing football. We were really focusing on lots of other things. We've done Olympics. We've done Euros. We've done Winter Olympics. Yeah, I'm really trying to bring the wrestling content back. So lots of debut videos that have been hitting the channel. We've done 10 so far, believe it or not. Which I've really enjoyed doing, and they will continue. Great thing about those is you can watch them anytime. So got Sheamus in the corner. Drew in the other corner. Sheamus charging over, gets caught by Drew. He's going to get put through the table. Boom! Powerbomb! Powerbomb through the table. Drew collapses down. So, yeah, we've got Sheamus's shoulder is marked. Drew's shaking his head. I think he can't quite believe how far they're having to push each other to get this victory. But tons of wrestling opening up SmackDown. This match starting the show, and here we are nearly half an hour later. It's not too unusual. We've definitely seen first matches taking us to the half hour mark. I can't say this is a mark of Triple H or anything, but it's still good to see. We've seen SmackDowns with less wrestling. So it's still good to see. You got Drew back in the corner. Sheamus trying to grab the shillelagh, but can't use it. And that's going to be it. 2, 3. And Drew McIntyre is going to main event Clash at the Castle. So Drew hits a Claymore. Getting my brogues and my Claymores mixed up. So there we go, Clash at the Castle. It will be either Brock or Roman. They should have put Theory on there, because it could be Theory as well. Against Drew McIntyre. What is the main event? I don't know. I don't think they've announced one, to be honest. I don't think one's been announced. There's only a couple of other matches it could be. We could have Aaliyah against Lacey Evans, which it won't be that. We could have New Day against Viking Raiders. But there we go. Drew wins. And he takes a moment to reflect. That match coming in pretty much on the half hour mark. Legend Killer, hello, shout out to you. We've got Kayla Braxton. Looks like she's been doing her cycling proficiency. She's wearing high vis. Perhaps she's come straight from a warehouse. But good to see. Drew beats Sheamus. Sheamus, it didn't have to be this way. Someone has got to take that title off the part-time champion. He gets nailed by Austin Theory. Theory attacks. Theory walloping, pounding away. So, Austin Theory. Me. It's going to be me, Drew. It's going to be me. He said, I'm going to have the United States title here. I'm going to have the other title here. So, Austin Theory attacking Drew McIntyre. I wonder if they give Drew his moment in the UK. It could absolutely change hands there. It could absolutely change hands. It could be that's where it changes. I'm still going to say, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that Roman still finds a way of retaining, but yeah, it could. So Theory attacks. Theory is getting booed in his hometown. Lol. Right. Theory attacks. So Michael Cole said, big match tomorrow with the United States title on the line, but will Theory cash in? Dave's not watched for a few years now. Glad to see you still going strong. I remember loving the toy hunt, some reviews. My old name was Roman. Roman, welcome back. Or Samu, as you are now. Welcome back, my friend. Appreciate the kind words. Still do toy hunts from time to time, but obviously the pandemic slowed them down. And to be honest, the watch-alongs just really blew up, took over, and so been very focused on those. But there are still toy hunts. There was one done about a month or so ago, so appreciate the kind words. If you want to talk about someone that's lost credibility, and if you know me, I do. If you want to talk about someone that's lost credibility, Sheamus hasn't won in ages. Reliable worker, but I never expect him to win anymore. Coach Co said you could ice skate on one of Jupiter's moons, Europa, which is covered in ice. An axle jump would take you 22 feet in the air. What the hell? What's an axle jump? I don't know what that is. Is that something to do? Is that when you spin in the air, is it? Who have you got dethroning Roman? Well, I know that Cody is definitely going to play a part. So I know that we've got that. Theory with a successful cash-in would be a fun shake-up. Harley said, apparently Theory only said about one title off Brock Roman when he cashes in. That would be perfect, in my opinion. Dort Knight said, I spoke a lot of smack then. People are obsessed with who wins and who loses, says Herb. I see Sheamus as a WWE champion, but I don't know, says Jaden. Larry said, I see Theory getting the SmackDown belt since Roman had the Universal longer. Hayden said Corbin bought a ticket so he can watch the show as a fan. You really should rock a TikTok, says Master Chief. You'd get more views on #WrestleTalk. Yeah, maybe. I mean, TikTok's a stranger to me. It's something that I need to have a look at, definitely. It's an unknown beast to me at the moment. Who have you got winning tomorrow? Pena against Nunes. Good question. I'm going with Nunes. I do think that it's going to be an interesting fight because I think that we could definitely see Pena retain. I think she's got some very, very impressive skills. One of those skills is just an absolute iron chin. You just seem to be able to punch her and she just takes it. And I think it's a really interesting point that was made. I think it was on Dan Hardy, was saying that there's been women standing in front of Nunes that have been punched repeatedly by her, and she's put them away. Cyborg, for example, Ronda Rousey, for example. She stood in front of Juliana Pena, punched her in the face, and all that happened was she got hit harder. She got punched back harder. And that I don't expect to change. What is going to have to change is that Nunes is going to have to know she cannot outstrike Pena. She's going to have to accept that. She's going to have to know it, and she's going to have to accept it. And she's going to have to find a different path to victory. Might be taking the fight to the ground, using her grappling and wrestling and, you know, taking it down and looking for a submission. But standing and exchanging is just not the right way forwards. So I can't wait for it. It's got a real big fight feel. And Pena was really vocal at the press conference. Feels like a massive fight. So I'm excited. Darcy said, I love how Theory attacks everyone, have him feud with everyone, and have the entire roster hate him. It's such an awesome story there. It reminds me of a young Orton. I agree. Completely agree. Danielle said, who do you think will win, Logan or The Miz? I think it's a really close match, because I think that you could have either win. I think if Logan wins, that's the end of it. And then Logan, you know, I'm guessing will face someone else, maybe at Clash at the Castle. I don't know how long he's sticking around for, but yeah, you could absolutely have him beat The Miz and then face someone else. Or you could outdo the rematch. Or you could have Logan lose at SummerSlam, have him really doubting that he's good enough, get one more opportunity, and then win it against The Miz at Clash at the Castle. So there's different ways you can take the story, and I think both have got pros and cons. So it's really, really hard to know which way it goes. I'm probably leaning that they make it simple and they just give Logan the win. So I'm going to go that way, but I wouldn't be surprised if Miz wins, because then Miz can gloat about how he's better than Logan and, you know, all this kind of stuff, and then you just have him lose at the next show. Right, main event is going to be a Brock Lesnar segment, says Harley. We are 30 weeks into 2022, and AEW has only done 1 million only 7 times. There's never a weekly influx. It's stuck at 900,000. WWE goes up and down each week. Yeah, I mean, they've got a fan base, haven't they? And it seems to be pretty stable for them, which is good. I mean, it's good for AEW. I mean, it's not declining. That's good. It's not growing. That's a concern, but at least they've got a stable fan base. So I've got an important question. Either go Clash at the Castle or WrestleMania 40. What? Where should someone go? WrestleMania 40. I mean, WrestleMania's WrestleMania, isn't it? So, SmackDown open with a number 1 contenders match for a WWE Universal title match at Clash at the Castle. Drew won, but Theory just can't stop attacking people, says Adam. Philly says, when is a new toy hunt? I don't know yet. I don't know. My focus has been on revamping the watch-alongs, introducing the post-show review, getting the news videos up and running again, debut videos. So that's kind of where my focus has been at. Live tomorrow night, Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar. I'm watching SummerSlam with my cousin and uncle, says Pablo. Zoom Station says a bikini contest at SummerSlam. If it's involving Linda McMahon, then thank you very much. That's all I've got to say. I stepped out the stream for a bit. When did SHEAMUS steal Finley's shillelagh? SHEAMUS never had one, did he? It's been 12 years or so. Yeah, they announced last week it was a shillelagh match this week, so there was tons of shillelaghs around ringside. And they had a small one, they had a big one. Every shillelagh that you could want to see. If you're a fan of shillelaghs, that opening segment is going to be right up your street. Security should chuck Corbin out for throwing popcorn, says List of Jericho. Jaden said, I can see Sheamus as WWE champion, but what are your thoughts? If he is, he'll be a transitional champion. I don't think he's quite got the charisma. I think that he is a fighter. I think that he is a brawler. I think he's aggressive. I think there's plenty to like about him, but I don't think he's got the charisma of a Roman Reigns. I don't think he's got the charisma of a John Cena or a Rock or, you know, people like that. Sort of feel that he's a little bit Bobby Lashley-esque. Like, he's credible, but I just don't think that he is. I don't think he's someone that is going to hold it for long. Right, we're just seeing a prolonged Pat and Corbin segment. Obviously, this is a go-home, so they're putting the final touches to all of the matches. Adam Pearce has come down. Everyone has a crush on Linda, absolutely. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. Linda wearing a thong on a pole match. Please. Yes. That's what I want to see. Dolph joining the Bloodline at SummerSlam would be brilliant. Right, are we going to commercial break? Feels like we are. This isn't exactly a fun fact, but there are over 200 dead bodies on the cliffs of Mount Everest because it's so difficult to bring them back down. Brilliant. Great. Poor woman has been cheated on multiple times. Vince McMahon has paid hush money to keep it quiet, and now all of a sudden she's the one that's in the wrong. All of a sudden Linda is the one that's a disgrace. Jeez. I look at Linda, I feel so sorry for her. Seriously. Imagine what she's been through. Imagine what she's going through. I mean, the whole world knows that Vince has repeatedly had affairs. And even if that more recent one was after they've kind of split, the ones going back to 2008 won't be. They won't be. She has been repeatedly cheated on. She probably feels hurt, very, very hurt by all of this. And yet, she wouldn't answer some questions about it, and apparently she's a disgrace. Twitter, man. Twitter. What's it like, eh? What's it like? Mitchell said, the fact that AJ Styles isn't on the card just kills me. Yeah, it's a weird one. I definitely expected him to be added to it, but don't know, who knows? Perhaps that's who's going to face Seth. I think Theory will cash in, but it will fail, says Darren. Brenton said, did you see Buff Bagwell's new look? I will be the first to admit that my up-to-date knowledge of what Buff Bagwell is up to is very limited. Very limited. I would actually go as far as to say poor. I'd go as far as to say unacceptable. My awareness of what Buff Bagwell's doing right now is unacceptable. So, in one photo, he looks like a weatherman. In another photo, he looks like he's wearing Mr. Rogers' clothes. It's creepy, but I'm glad that he looks cleaner and healthier. That's good. Dark Knight said, Linda should have left Vince a long time ago. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. If someone cheats on you, you bin them. It's hard, though, isn't it? It's hard. I think if you love someone and, that happens, I mean, it's down to personal kind of preference and it's down to how you deal with it. I've fortunately never been in that situation, but I don't know how I would react if I loved someone and they were, like, apologising, saying they'd made a horrific mistake and all that kind of stuff. I just don't know. I really just don't know. As you say, maybe once you can forgive it, twice, then yeah, maybe, clearly when they said it the first time, they weren't telling the truth. So, but I don't know. It's, they've been together a long, long time. Long time. Feel sorry for her. Right, we got Theory backstage being interviewed by Kayla Braxton. He's going to be a 2-time United States champ. I can't help it that people are jealous of me. I'm going to be the brand new Universal WWE Universal Champion. They won't stop me. Bloodline won't stop me. No one is going to stop me. I'm going to make Drew McIntyre my punching bag. I'm going to walk into Cardiff and make Drew McIntyre my punching bag. Here's Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman. Come here. Come here. So, that's interesting. Commonwealth Games in Birmingham right now. Yep. Right, we got Shotzi in the ring. What's Shotzi doing? Aaliyah against Shotzi. This was advertised as Aaliyah against... Oh, Lacey is not medically cleared. That's interesting. Lacey not medically cleared. NFTs available from WWE. We've been doing some stuff with UFC NFTs. I genuinely really like them. I don't know that the WWE ones work the same, to be honest. I think they're probably, like, different. Probably, like, more expensive. More limited. Right, Aaliyah versus Shotzi. We're almost 50 minutes into the show. Aaliyah against Shotzi. They can't even keep to their advertised matches. Is Lacey pregnant again? Yeah. Yeah, she got pregnant again. It's Vince's. Good match to go to the kitchen for, says Larry. Jose said, what's the other channel called? Wrestling Escape Pod. That's the name of the weekly podcast that we do. So, Wrestling Escape Pods. If you put in Wrestling Escape Pods, that'll bring it up. Oh, I got some as well. Do you know what? I might as well take this as an opportunity to show you what I got. I got something and it's cool and it came in the post today. I'm going to show you. You're going to have to give me a second whilst I grab it. Boom! Undertaker, last ride. Should we open it up whilst we're waiting? Oh, this might be one of those that's quite hard, actually. Looks like it's all stapled and everything. So, Shotzi in the ring with Aaliyah. Doing an unboxing live on stream. 'Cause I'm amazing. She's got her in the walls of Jericho. The walls of Shotzi. This was cool, and it was limited. And I bought it before anyone thinks that I got sent it or anything. I bought it, purchased it. I had an affair with Vince. And he said, do you want money? I said, no. Just give me the Undertaker thing. And it's like, So what you get is I don't know if you can see. It's all reflecting and annoying, but you can see a piece of the carpet. Carpet used during the Hall of Fame speech. A piece of canvas, which was used during the Undertaker display reveal. And you get a piece of the sheet that was used to cover the statue. So, there we go. We've got that. So, it's nice, isn't it? I was really debating as to whether to get it or not, but you do get like 3 things. Those 3 things. You get a bit of carpet. I like carpet. Big fan. A bit of canvas and a bit of the sheet that was used to cover the statue. So, that was kind of nice. I can't remember how much it was because I ordered it ages ago. It took forever to get here, but now it's here. With the shipping and everything, it was quite expensive, I think. All in, it was probably about £100, which is quite a lot of money, really. Shotzi picks up the win. But yeah, that looked nice on a wall. I got it because it's Hall of Fame, you know. But a piece of the carpet from his induction to the Hall of Fame. A piece of the ring when the statue was unveiled. And a piece of the cloth that was over the statue. If you're an Undertaker fan, it's lovely, isn't it? I do like those collectibles. I do like those things. It's definitely worth 100, says Retribution. Yeah, I mean, it was quite a bit, but worth it. Linda is like Carmela Soprano to Vince's Tony. She knows who Vince is, and she has decided to still be married despite all of this. Call me skeptic, but I don't think it's out of love. I mean, I feel like love is one, but just like, you know, splitting up the empire, if you will, I'd imagine would be another. Don't know. I mean, she's got money. She's got half of his wealth. We're backstage. Liv and Ronda face to face. Here's Natalya. Ronda is going to destroy you tomorrow. I'm the reason why you've got that championship, says Natalya. Is this build into a tag match? Because Sonya's just arrived. Shotzi's in the ring, cackling away. Ronda's music hits. Down by reputation. Ronda making her way down to the ring. Shotzi stayed in the ring to cut a promo. Ronda's making her way down. I don't really get what's happening here. It's kind of interesting, though. Get out. She comes in. She's like, get out. Give me the microphone. Get out. She gets taken down. Shotzi. Piper's Pit. Ronda takes the microphone. Well, that just jobbed Shotzi out, didn't it? Ronda comes down. Did she say, shut up, your mum failed you? Did she say, shut up, your mum failed you? Wow. I'm sure she just said, shut up, your mum failed you, but I don't know who she was saying it to. Yeah, she did. You shut up, your mum failed you, but I don't know who she said it to. That's a great line. Mum jokes. It's 2022, mate, innit? That's the only reason I'm here. This is the Ronda we need. Darcy said, I'm happy for Liv. She gets a match at SummerSlam as champion. Pablo said, I made a custom figure for you. Thank you. For me or of me? Big difference. Shotzi should be a bigger deal. I think she said it to a fan. I can't tell if she said it to a fan or if Shotzi had rolled out and was saying something as she was walking away. If she said it to a fan, that's a pretty wild thing for Ronda to do. Isn't she still sort of her face? I suppose she does need to go into this match as a bit of a heel because clearly Liv's the face. So, I don't know, maybe she did say it to a fan. I'd like to have known who she said it to. I'd like for that to have been a bit clearer. But, fun line, whoever she said it to. She said it to all of us. Seb said, what's the first choice in the poll mean? So, we talk about SummerSlam and WWE's future. We do a stream on it. On SummerSlam Eve, do you think Liv is champion by next week? I'm going to say yes. They're definitely turning her heel, and I am here for it, says Riv. Maka said, what if WWE do a swerve and they have Heyman turn on Roman to help Theory? I wouldn't be down for that personally. That wouldn't be something I would be looking for. Just because I think that, Heyman had spent so long with Brock. I can understand him switching his allegiance to Roman whilst Brock was away. I can even understand him, being kicked out of, Roman's bloodline and going back to Brock. And I can understand. But now if he went to Theory, that, I think, we're just flip-flopping him around a little bit too much. So I wouldn't go that way. But it's very interesting to know what conversation he's having. Very interesting. We'll find out. You shut up. Your mum failed you t-shirts will be available on Monday. Listen. Great shirts. Just your mum failed you. I need that shirt. Your mum failed you. I don't need it to say Ronda. I don't need it to say WWE. I just need your mum failed you on a shirt. Top seller. Do one, Lily. Do one. You're not the top seller anymore. Your mum failed you. Your mum failed you. Your mum failed you. Your mum failed you. Oh. Your mum failed you. Your mum failed you. It won't work. Oh, it's rubbish. I can do this. Your mum failed you. Your mum failed you. Here we go. Your mum failed you. Your mum failed you. Yeah, boy. Come on, we've just got a SummerSlam thing at the moment. Right now. We're just singing all over Nashville. Come on, Dave, say some Triple H removing Riddle and Lacey. Well, they said Lacey was injured. She could be injured. I mean, we've spoken quite a lot about Triple H taking Riddle out. Tonight we've got Paul Heyman and his special counsel making a special address. Darwin said the mic's still playing up. Oh, shouldn't. Perhaps I need a new mic. Perhaps it's time for... I have had this a few years, in all fairness. Cornette should be Ronda's manager and making it a heat magnet. Tag match coming up. It'll be Ronda and Liv against Natalya and Sonya, says Darren Guy. Could be. Pacing around. It's very serious. I don't know what we're getting here. Here's Liv coming out. Watch me. Liv laughing away, puts the belt around her waist. She did say it to someone in the crowd. Amazing. Ronda's lack of promo skills have failed her. It's like she went to Shayna Baszler's school of promos. Yeah, promos have sucked, but that line there, I mean, she doesn't need to talk. She's badass. So I think having her come down and just say, shut up, your mum failed you, I think that's great. I tell you what, as well, I don't like how others don't fear Ronda anymore. So, you know, you got Liv coming down, just celebrating. Yeah, here's my belt. Yeah. Hey, everyone, how you doing? Like, you've got the baddest woman in the planet in the ring there. Like, it would be great to see them coming down just being really nervous. You know, you've got a woman that could turn your lights out, break your arm. She could break your arm. Easy. She could break your arm and then smack you over the head with it. Like, they're just coming out just like, yeah, look at me. Don't know. I feel like we could make Ronda look more of a threat if everyone treated her like a threat. But they just don't flipping care anymore. Because your mom failed you. Your mom failed you. Best sound ever. Boobs. Ronda should be the female Brock, but it doesn't feel that way. Metal Mouth said this has got a heel Ronda written all over it. The ancient Romans used to drop a piece of toast into their wine for good health, hence why we raise a toast. Oh, very good, very good, very good. Very good. So, here we go. It is tag match. Dream match. So, Ronda and Liv taking on Sonya and Natalya. Natalya Ledge. So, Ronda and Liv versus Natalya and Sonya. Let's fit it to the screen. There we go. Where's the change? Oh, it's too early for that, isn't it? Too early. When will we find out who's coming? Coming where? To SummerSlam. At SummerSlam. Mitchell said, hi Days, would you like to see WWE try and incorporate some MMA or Olympic style wrestling for some realism? They have the people to do it. Would I like to see that? I mean, I would. We do get a degree of it. I mean, if you actually watch Asuka with her takedowns or like Ronda with her judo throws, obviously there's a lot of Muay Thai kicks. So there is martial arts, mixed martial arts that are used. But yeah, I mean, anything that's going to increase the realism, I'm all for. I think I wouldn't say necessarily I'm as worried about increasing MMA moves as I am reducing stupid things. I mean, there's stuff that happens that you just roll your eyes at, or I do. And I'm like, it's just silly. This is just silly. I just feel like I'm watching silliness. You know, I hate it when you've got all them people on the outside and someone jumps on top of them, they all fall over like flipping bowling pins. Like, that can do one. I feel like I see a suicide dive about every 5 minutes. So that can greatly get reduced. You know, there's definitely things that I think I would take out more than being worried about what goes in. But I'm going to say anything that increases realism, sign me up for it. But I don't feel I necessarily need to see more MMA style. But it's a good question. I mean, there are the people to do it. There's a lot more knowledge. But I think, you know, clotheslines, drop kicks, that's not MMA style. But it's pro wrestling. So, you know, I've got no problems with that, obviously. I mean, there's tons about pro wrestling that isn't in MMA that you would absolutely want to keep. I would say you don't see many suplexes, but we did get one the other day in UFC. Someone actually delivered a German suplex in the octagon, which was pretty sick. Snap suplex there by Natalya. The most common wild bird in the world isn't the sparrow or blue jay. It's the red-billed, which lives in Africa and has got a population of 1.5 billion. Is that true? There's 1.5 red-billed. That's amazing. That's amazing. Suplex to Liv on the outside by Natalya. I mean, the mystery man on Raw with messages. Well, that will probably be either SummerSlam or next week's Raw. SummerSlam or next week's Raw. It's random, but we're not getting to have a Theory-Cena rivalry. Well, I mean, Cena could always come back and do a match with Theory, but I don't think it's random we don't get it. Because Cena's not an active superstar. I mean, sadly, Theory has missed John Cena. But Cena sort of missed The Rock. But we still got it. We still got those matches. We still got Rock and Cena twice, WrestleMania 28, 29. So, could we end up getting a series of matches between Theory and Cena? Absolutely, yes. Are you going to take a chop from Gunther for $1 million? Yes. I know the funnier answer would be no, oh my god, but $1 million? Are you joking me? Absolutely. Darcy said, let's play. How many times will Ronda fix her tights? That's the game I like to play. Cornette and Lass brought up fear of Ronda point numerous times. Her eyeliner and smiling face constantly hurt her. Cornette seemed to think that Vince's instruction, which is what I agree with. Well, Vince did tell her to smile. He did tell her to smile. When she goes out at WrestleMania 34, one of the last instructions she gets is smile. People want to see you enjoying yourself, was what he said to her. So that is true. I don't think her, if she's a face, I don't think her coming out and smiling and waving to the fans is a problem. I think the bigger problem is other superstars not fearing her. If people don't treat her like a threat, then she's not going to be perceived as a threat. But she is a threat. I think her smiling doesn't bother me. I think if she is a face, then smiling and shaking hands with the fans is kind of something you need to do, really. You could get away with not doing it, of course. Stone Cold was over. He wasn't really shaking the fans' hands. I mean, I suppose he wasn't really smiling either. So you don't have to do it. You can definitely point to people in the past that have been massively over. But I don't know. I can't say that is a problem for me. I think when I look at Ronda, I see someone that is limited in the ring. She can do stuff, but the stuff she can do are judo throws and it's MMA stuff. You know, her actual wrestling, if you will, is not as good as the other women, and it's noticeable. But also her promos are just not there. I mean, not even close. They're just not there. And I think those are big problems. And then you add in the fact that the women just come down and, you know, I mean, there's no resistance, is there? Sonya and Natalya have got to get in there with Ronda Rousey. All right, fine. Yeah, no problem. Come down, do their normal entrances. No one's worried that they've got the baddest woman opposite them. It's fine. Yeah, let's have a match. So I just think that the optics are wrong on that. Although she's just come down, she hasn't been smiling there, so maybe that's something they are looking to change. It's been a decent show. Sheamus and Drew was awesome. Zoom Station said Vince likes the ladies to smile. Yes, and also be very quiet. Larry said, I'll never forget back in the day when it was WWF against NFL in the ring during a football game. William Perry did a body slam. Football King number 2 said, I heard that if the girls have their up, that means they haven't washed their hair. If the girls have their hair up, it means they've not washed their hair. I've never heard that. I can't say that's true or not true. I've just never heard that. What's SummerSlam UK time? Is it on in the early mornings? Late, yeah. Yeah, so don't know what time it starts. I think the pre-show's about 11ish. Main show about 12. Probably we've done about 3. So something along those lines. Paulie said it's about 7 so far. Yeah, we did just miss halftime scores, just chatting away. You can do them if you want, actually, whilst we're just watching this. Bit of a nothing tag match, isn't it? So... Halftime scores, everybody, it's the halftime scores. I really want to know your halftime scores. Put it in the chat. Halftime scores, everybody, it's the halftime scores. Are you happy? It's the halftime scores. Are you happy or you sad? Halftime scores, everybody, it's the halftime scores. I should get that recorded. If I got it recorded, I could just press play then. Just sit here like this. There we go, halftime scores, get them in. 6, 7, 6, 6.5. Brenton says, remember though, Diesel and Roman did the smiling and the singing and it killed their runs. Same with The Rock when he debuted. Funny that Vince messes up with the same family twice in 20 years. That is true. That is true about, but I think the problem was... I mean, it is true. I think that he was pandering to them. I think there's a difference between being pleasant and being, like, over the top. And I feel like The Rock, when he first came in, was, like, over the top nice. Like, he was kind of reeked of desperation, really, of wanting to be accepted and wanting to be liked, rather than just being cool. Like, he wasn't cool. And you could maybe make the argument about Ronda. You know, maybe her coming down smiling, shaking the fans' hands. Maybe that makes her perceived as not being cool. So you could absolutely do that. I can only answer for myself, really, and say it's never been an issue for me. It's never been a problem to me. But, Liv could have made the tag there, but she doesn't. Picked up on the top rope. She rolls up Natalya. 1, 2. Kick out by Natalya. So Liv could have made the tag, but she didn't. Clothesline. 1, 2. Kick out again. 6, 8, 6. 6.29. 5. It's been average at best. Darcy said, Brock's a monster who smiles all the time. It's not hurt his image. That's true. The only thing you would say is that when he came in, he wasn't smiling. I think, listen, I think this is a really interesting conversation. I think it's a really interesting conversation because I can definitely see the point that's being made. Can definitely see the point that's being made. And as I said, when Brock first came in, he was serious. And so he got over. And so now you're getting him smiling. It feels a bit strange. It's different. Not used to seeing it. So I can see it. I can see it. There will be one cool wrestler, and that is Carlito. He spits in the face of people that aren't cool. Lots of 7s, 6s, 5s. We're still underway with this tag match. We've got about 40-odd minutes to go. Flatliner by Liv. Ronda trying to get the ankle of... heel hook applied. Heel hook applied. Shayna. I keep calling her Shayna. Sonya taps to Ronda's heel hook. Kind of like that. I like the fact it's Ronda that gets the win. I like it. It's not Liv that gets the win. It's Ronda. Again, just putting over that she is dangerous. Can Liv survive Ronda tomorrow? Michael Cole says you saw the guts. You saw the heart of the champion. Liv kissing the belt, staring at Ronda. And those two stare down. I've got a crush on Liv and Sonya, says Sonny. Sonny, hello? Larry said the injury Cody has, he would be lucky to be at the Rumble. Legend Killer said Ronda, Rousey, and Liv Morgan are going to win. Michael said Liv is so hot with that belt. Here come the Street Profits. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Street Profits making their way down. Okay, so Ronda and Liv beat Natalia and Sonya. So, what have we got next? Up next, referee instructions. So, up next, we've got referee instructions. We're going to find out what the ref, Jeff Jarrett, has got to say to Street Profits and Usos. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. Can I get a shout out? No. No, you can. Who said it? Jesse, shout out to you. Hope you are well, my friend. Jesse. Darcy said, I didn't like the Street Profits at first, but it does feel like it's time for them to have a feel-good moment with the titles. Montez and Black Janetti. Black Janetti. Cliff said, when Brock smiles, it feels like the Joker and scary because he's going to hurt someone. Larry said, I want the smoke. Ronda heel turn. Could happen, Gabriella. It could happen. Anything is a segment nowadays, says Stone9540. They could steal the show tomorrow, said Jake. They could. I remember the Attitude Era, right before each pay-per-view was always epic, and the pay-per-views now are just blur. Matt said, where's Zelina Vega? We haven't seen her in a while. She was on Talking Smack, so she is around. She is around. Why do you like the commentator? Why don't you like the commentator? His box office. Who? Pat. Sucks. I hate the tone of his voice. He talks all over bits he shouldn't be talking on. He is only there because of the podcast show that he's got. I know he's popular. I know people like him. I mean, I think he's got a big fan base, which obviously helps him because those fans don't care if he's any good or not. And then I think WWE have just gone into publicity overdrive and have just done everything they can to get the propaganda out there to tell you that he's good. And so people have just bought that. You know, if you're being told this is really good, this is really good, this is really good, and you haven't really got anyone else saying actually it sucks, it's probably a good chance that you're going to go, okay, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, fine. It's good. Yeah, it's fine. But I have the ability to think for myself, and he sucks. Football King said, JEFFJARRET. That's double J. Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett coming up. So we've got Jeff Jarrett. This next segment's going to be interesting because it's Street Profits and the Usos, and we're going to get Jeff Jarrett's referee instructions. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this segment plays out because I really like Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett's involved in Ric Flair's last match, and he's been involved in the build and everything. And it's good. It's been really good. If you've seen those videos, they've been really entertaining. So I'm looking forward to this. Jeff Jarrett can cut promo, man. He can go, he can talk. And hopefully, if he's given a bit of room to do that, this could be enjoyable. So, and I agree as well. Someone said earlier, this could be fight of the night tomorrow. And certainly their match at Money in the Bank was a bit of a show stealer. So, this could do the same. Street Profits making their way out. Just waiting for the Usos and then Jeff Jarrett. And then I know that we had New Day and Viking Raiders. So I'm guessing that that's going to be our main event. I'm guessing. I know someone said Brock earlier, but I haven't actually seen Brock advertised for the show, which is a bit of a surprise considering it's a go-home for SummerSlam. So we might get the Tribal Chief. Maybe after this we get New Day and then we do get a Brock Roman segment. I was reading an article, says Brenton, and it said Heyman pushed hard for Montez Fords. I remember him pushing them as a team. I don't mind Dawkins. What are your thoughts on Dawkins? I think Dawkins is all right. He's someone that can get by, but I really think Dawkins has got it in him to hit the gym. I honestly think that there's nothing stopping Dawkins getting absolutely shredded. He's got a good size. I mean, he's big. He's a big guy. If he smashed the gym and got himself into a good shape, you could have someone serious. But I think the truth of the fact is that he's a good partner. He's a decent talker. He works well with Montez, but he doesn't have the charisma. He doesn't have the in-ring ability. He doesn't stand out as much. But he's still a good wrestler. He can still go. And I think that if he got shredded, he could really be a big asset going forward. So he doesn't have to be the Marty Jannetty. He doesn't have to be. But he will be if he doesn't do something about it. Here's Jeff Jarrett, as we said. Good promo, Jeff Jarrett. He's got his referee shirt on. I've definitely got some words for you, Jeff Jarrett, jumping in the ring. I thought it would be a good idea for the four of us to get together before SummerSlam. Let's see how this plays out. I want you to know how serious I take my job. So he's doing the Jeff Jarrett thing. He says, how about I punch Montez Ford in the nose and have him bleeding on the canvas like we did last week? Tell you what, the Usos can talk, man. The Usos can talk, can't they? I don't like it when the crowd are watting. Talking about dropping bodies. Oh, Montez slapping the belts. Dawkins went a bit early on the We Want the Smoke. He did it on his own. It's passionate stuff, but they weren't quite on the same page. Still great, though. Still great. Montez showing why he is regarded so highly. Montez is screwed. I'm here to let you run wild, says Jeff Jarrett. But not until tomorrow night. That's tomorrow. It's very apparent you've got some outstanding issues. If one of you feels froggy, why don't one of you jump? I don't understand. Why would he Why would Jeff Jarrett want to sacrifice tomorrow's match? I don't understand. I don't get it. Jeff Jarrett is surely meant to be an official that's meant to be trying to ensure this match goes ahead tomorrow without a problem, and instead he's like encouraging them to smack each other. How does that make any... I don't understand. Now he's just got walloped. Yeah, that's not good. One of the Usos. Was that Jay? He's just absolutely walloped Jeff Jarrett there. Jay saying to Jimmy, I didn't mean to do that. Nah, he absolutely clocked him, man. He absolutely clocked him. Usos trying to apologise to Jeff Jarrett. That is absolutely not going to put... not going to be in the good books. I think it was a super kick that he nailed him with. So, Jay with a super kick. It's SmackDown. It is SmackDown. Over the top goes Montez. We have had hypothetical WWE AEW crossover thoughts. I would enjoy a singles match between Starks and Montez. I think they would tear the house down. Sure. Yeah, down for that. Good God Almighty is broken in half. Right. Why isn't Gunther on the show? The whole making the title prestigious doesn't work if he's not preaching it. Well, to be honest, yeah. I mean, he's not at SummerSlam, is he? They've not put him on that card. There's something about them. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't believe the mid-card belts were used. Were they? I don't think they were at WrestleMania, were they? Were they at WrestleMania? I can't remember if they made it to WrestleMania. I've got a feeling they've missed a few pay-per-view shows. But, yeah, I mean, look, the Intercontinental not being on the SummerSlam card is a mistake. But we've got to get the celebrities on, haven't we? We've got to get the celebrities on. We can't be messing around with something like the Intercontinental title. So, yeah, I agree. Usos will lose the belt tomorrow over 1,000 votes. Nearly 500 as well. How long have we got? Half an hour. Can we get that to 500? Big thank you to everyone that's left a like. It really is appreciated. Really is appreciated. So if you are watching and you haven't left a like, leave a like as we try to move it to 500. As much as I hate where is Sammy in all of this, where is Sammy? That's a good point, you know. It's a really good point because we've been talking about who might stop Theory from cashing in. And we've been talking about Solo Sikoa. We've been talking about Dolph. Haven't mentioned Sammy. So it's a really good point. Sami Zayn is still out there. And we haven't been seeing him. And have we not been seeing him so we sort of forget about him? Maybe. Because I'd forgot about him. So maybe. How do you rank the stars of tomorrow? Montez, MJF, Braun, and Theory. What, if you had to rank them? If you had to rank them, I would say... Montez, MJF, Braun, Theory. Montez, MJF, Braun, Theory. Montez, MJF, Braun, Theory. I would go Theory top. I would have MJF second. I would have Braun and then Montez bottom. So Theory, MJF, Braun, and Montez bottom. My thought process on that is, I think for me, Montez is a smaller guy. I think he's very good on the microphone, very passionate. I think he has the ability to put on a great match. What I've not seen from him, though, are singles matches. I haven't seen the singles matches from him. I know he can have a great tag match, and I'm sure he could have a great singles match, and he absolutely could move up the list. But until I've seen what he's like as a solo star, like on his own, under the bright lights, carrying the weight of a match on his own, which I feel he would be able to do. So I feel like he would climb up this list. But right now, without that information, I've got to put him bottom. Because all the others, I've seen what they can do in solo matches. So that's why I've got Montez at the bottom, but he can absolutely rise. Then I've got Braun, because I think that Braun has had, you know, we can see what he can do solo-wise. He's got a great size to him as well, which is always going to help. He can cut promos. He can have decent matches. I don't think he excels. I don't watch a Bron match expecting it to be 5 stars. I don't listen to a Bron promo expecting it to be 5 stars. I think that he is very good. I think he's got a very good look. There's a lot about him. He feels like he's going to be a big star. They're working with him and treating him like he's going to be a big star. I've no denying or no doubt that he's going to get a big push. So I feel quite confident that Bron is going to be pushed. I feel like they're going to use him. So for that reason, I've got him next on the list. So, but I don't think he necessarily excels. I actually think that if Montez can do it as a solo start, I think he jumps over Bron. Then that leaves me with Theory and MJF. MJF, I'd put it 2 because MJF is a fantastic promo, maybe the best out of all of them, like when it comes to actually promoing and talking. But he is also quite a small guy, and he is also someone whose matches kind of, again, I never go into an MJF match expecting to see it be 5 stars. What I do like about MJF matches is there's normally quite good psychology to them. So normally there's some good storytelling in there. And so normally they're not bad matches. They're not like, you know, God, the bell rings, is absolutely awful and it's boring. But again, you know, he's not someone that is stealing shows for me. He's someone whose matches I think are going to be pretty solid. If someone said, do you want to watch MJF or do you want to watch Bron Breakker? I would rather watch MJF. I think MJF is always going to give you a better promo. And I think because of the psychology, he tends to put on better matches than Bron does. I feel like Bron's are very powerful, big power moves, which if you're into that kind of thing is good. But I think the storytelling in an MJF match is better. So that's why I would say that MJF is at 2. And then number 1, I would say, is Theory, because I think Theory is one of the better talkers. I think he's a better talker than Bron. I don't think he's as good a talker as MJF. And who knows if he's better than Montez as well. He might not be better than Montez. He might actually, for promos, might be 3rd. But I do think that he has got an in-ring ability that is above maybe all the others. I think his in-ring is maybe better than everyone else's. So I think that his promos are not bad. His in-ring is brilliant. I would put him top. But it's very close between him and MJF. Right, we've got Maximum Male Models. Feel free to put your thoughts in. It's beachwear time. They're doing this as a backstage segment now. So, SummerSlam shorts. He's got a volleyball. So, we are just seeing what Marseille is all about. It's a great advert for WWE Shop. Mansoir. He's got a frisbee. He's got a SummerSlam frisbee. This would be a great way to show off new stuff at WWE Shop. Max Dupree. Max Dupree, the rumours were that he was done. He's rubbed people up the wrong way. Max Dupree is still around, man. That's big news. That's big news. Guys, the dirt sheets were wrong. Can you believe it? Max LA Knight. Max Dupree. Well, there we go. Max Dupree. Right. She was alright. She was alright. Do you think Theory cashes in? I think he tries, but I don't think he succeeds. He's a Triple H guy. That's good. It's good. I did wonder, I mean, I didn't think he was going to get released, but I did wonder if now he might be used in a different way. But I've said before, I don't mind Maximum Male Models. but that's just me. I know there's plenty of people that do. I live 30 minutes away from Clash at the Castle. I can't seem to get tickets. I'm in pain right now, says Tanner. I think it might be sold out now, dude. I'm not sure. Honestly, don't know. I think from what I read, 65,000. I'm not sure what the capacity is or like what's available. But I don't know. I mean, it's a shame. But I mean, I'm sure if you go down to the pubs and everything, they'll be showing it. So you can still kind of be more of a part of it than other people, even if you can't get inside. Give Braun 5 stars for beating Oldberg in 5 moves for a title. Gave Braun 5 stars for beating Oldberg. Who's this? Dave? Sammy is injured, isn't he? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I know that he did Broken School Sessions not that long ago, so I'm not sure. Did they titillate your juices? I can't say they titillated my juices. I think we can definitely be doing some other things with them. Like, we could get going as a tag team. Do you know what I mean? They could start having some matches. But I would have them beat some jobbers. And then, like, you know, love themselves. And then, of course, they've got to go up against a real team, a real challenge. And that'll be a fun moment. You know, this arrogant team that love themselves, that think they're the best in the world. That just constantly are doing their little backstage things. They're beating jobber teams. Now, all of a sudden, they've got to face, I don't know, the New Day or something. Like, seeing their faces, like, as they find that news out, or they're, you know, getting attacked, getting punched in the face. What about when the first time when one of them gets punched in the face? You could make a thing out of that. You know, Kofi could come in, bang, like this. Like, and you could really make, like, you know, a big thing out of the fact he's just got hit in the face. You could have, like, Marseille walking out or something. Like, I feel like there's things you can do with them. I think there's things you can do. But I can't say they didn't titillate. They didn't titillate my juices. Mitchell said, do you think Ric Flair has got any role in the SummerSlam match with Jeff? No. Shahid said, I go to Madison Square Garden last week. Oh, I hope you had a great time. That was Monday, wasn't it? Raw was there. Very good. Is Seth fighting tomorrow? Believe so, yes. Believe so. We are at commercial break, by the way, if you was wondering. And we're 21 away. 21 away. 21 away. If you are watching and you've not left a like, leave a like. Please. How dare you hit me in my money maker? I love the idea of one of them getting hit and then, like, they would say, yeah. I love the idea of one of them getting hit and then, like, starting to get, like, emotional and just run away. And then maybe Maxine Dupree's chasing after him or something. Maybe Max is on the phone or, like, there's just absolute panic. There's bedlam. We go backstage as, like, Marseille is freaking out. Can't believe he's just been hit in the face. I think you could definitely... There's something there. There's something there. Kieran said, I've liked this stream. Oh! Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Your mom failed you. Your mom failed you. Thank you very much. I'm ready for SummerSlam, says Avion. I'm going to say it like that. Avion. Avion Dudley. Avion Dudley. I should maximum male model up all the names in the chat, shouldn't I? Avion Dudley. Cowboy. 7595. Junior says, Max Dupree is back. Triple H is going to put up Wilt Chamberlain numbers against the dirt sheets. Do you know what? How funny would it be if whatever the dirt sheets report, that's how Triple H books? He does the exact opposite. So if the dirt sheets are like, Seth's got a match tomorrow and it's against Johnny Gargano, Triple H is like, right, that's not happening anymore. Max Dupree is not around anymore. He has been axed from the main roster, right? Max Dupree, you've been added back. There we go. He could literally just do that. That would be hysterical. That'd be fantastic. The only thing is, though, they would still be spoiling what was happening because you would know whatever they report, the exact opposite is going to happen. So they'd still be spoiling it, but just in a different way. But, yeah, very good. Seeb said, I just tweeted you a video of Hasbulla. Check it out when you get a chance. Well, I'm always checking out videos of Hasbulla. I'm always up for checking them out. Let's have a little look. Is that new or old? I've seen him go head-to-head with that guy before. They hate each other. They got into a little thing at UFC. There's even been talk about them potentially having a little cage match at one of the UFC shows. Why don't they do that with celebrity matches? I'm not a fan of celebrity matches, but why don't they have the celebrities go up against each other? Why don't they do that? That way, if one of them wins, who cares? Because all they've done is beat another celebrity. They should do that. I'd be down for that. We could have some great celebrity matches. We could have Cardi B taking on Nicki Minaj. That's about as relevant as I get. I can't get any more relevant than that. I think there's an Olivia Rodrigo or something, but I don't know who she's feuding with, to be honest. Justin Bieber. Maybe do that match. Don't know. Should they split up the titles again? I think so. I don't mind there being one champion, but I think you need one roster if you're going to do that. Is Wrestling Days in the chat? I've not seen him for a while. I am always in the... I'm everywhere. I'm like Jesus. 5 hours ago, it's new. Oh. Please view this on YouTube, says Larry. Right, we've got Xavier going against the ropes. So we are still underway with New Day against Viking Raiders. This doesn't feel like it's the main event because we've still got 18 minutes to go. Max Dupree. Nice drop kick by Xavier. Is the Football Days channel back for the new Premier League season? It isn't. No, announced about a week ago or so that sadly we won't be doing it. It was a great success. It's not that it wasn't working, but it's just very apparent that, if you're going to do football, do football. Simple as that. If you're going to do football watch-alongs, then do football. Do transfer videos, do predictions for lineups, do match reactions, do reviews of new kits, do everything. If you're doing football, do football. If you're doing wrestling, do wrestling. And it's just become apparent that trying to do, watch-alongs for wrestling, watch-alongs for football, you're not really going far enough. You're not really doing enough for either. So, no. Some had to give. It was either going to be the football or the wrestling, so... Kofi up top comes crashing down onto Eric. Ivar comes in. Will UFC be covered here tomorrow? Yes. Big, big, big show. Huge show. I mean, I must admit, I actually don't know what's bigger out of the two. I genuinely don't know if SummerSlam's bigger or if UFC's bigger. Of course, if you're into wrestling, you will say SummerSlam. If you're into UFC, you will say UFC. But actually, numbers-wise, I genuinely don't know. I don't know how many people will tune into SummerSlam and how many people will tune into UFC. Yeah, I don't know. But thankfully, we're doing both. As we said, over on the Wrestling Escape Pod channel tomorrow, that is where the watch-along is. Heel Santa said, main event is Heyman. Brock is supposedly coming out. Oh, that's right. Heyman did say there was a special thing, didn't he? That's true. UFC is going to be a great show, says Robert. Win? A win for Viking Raiders. Your new vicious Viking Raiders have won. I feel like that's a surprise. So, Viking Raiders jumping out of the ring. So, now they're grabbing chairs and everything. But it was a double power bomb that puts Kofi away. So, now they're looking to attack. They're slowly making their way in with their shields. Kofi is down. I don't know if Xavier is down. There's Xavier. There's Xavier. Xavier on his feet. Looking over at the... Woods charging over. They smack him in the face. Kofi is grabbed by the hair, hurled out of the ring. And now they're wrapping the leg of Xavier around that chair. They love to plunder and pillage. They love plundering and pillaging. They absolutely flipping love it. Viking Raiders attacking. So, the leg injured. The leg of Xavier Woods. Attacked by the Viking Raiders. Boos by the crowd. Just got I tell you what, he got absolutely smashed with that flipping shield. He got absolutely smashed. That was pretty brutal, man, actually. That was pretty brutal. Right, we've got medics in there that are checking over on Xavier's leg. As I said, that did look pretty bad. Getting to our end of the show now. It is the special address of Paul Heyman as we go into, I think, our final commercial break. So, taking those shields and smashing them into the chair that was wrapped around the leg of Xavier. Shane, shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate the support. We're just seeing an advert for Miz and Logan. So that's coming up. Bang. Bang. Do you think Roman is getting betrayed? Do I think Roman's getting betrayed? I don't think so. It's not the direction that I would go in, to be honest. I think that yeah, it's not the direction I would head in. Mitchell, shout out to you.
Daft Punk. Here we go.
I don't know this one. We've got a little one where I'm Daft Punk. Mitchell said, does this mean the Viking Raiders are Drew's biggest fear? His sword has finally met its match. Or maybe the sword and shield are destined for love. Look at you, you old romantic. I honestly don't know. I couldn't comment. I'm just having a look because we are obviously going to change over to our post-show review and... Lots of things that are not quite right here. I've got lots of little dramas at the moment, which are quite interesting. Black background not working. Interesting. Well, that's going to have to be something that I'm going to have to try and sort out, isn't it? Dave's thoughts on the show that's not had Roman or Brock. Well, they might be about to appear, but you might be about to get them. So, fear not. 1 Minute Wrestler, hello. I would like to see you go to Clash at the Castle. Says LaserJet. Me go to Clash at the Castle. Sadly not, but my plan was to be streaming it. But it really depends if that's going to collide with UFC, because seemingly what WWE are doing at the moment is they're looking to see if anything collides with UFC, and then they go for it. they decide that they want to do it. They use that as a way of deciding that they are in fact going to go up against UFC, which I don't understand. I would feel like there was quite a bit of crossover, like tomorrow, you know. There will surely be people that would have watched SummerSlam that will end up watching UFC, so. But, hey-ho. I mean, look, moving to a Saturday has been a positive thing. People have really enjoyed them moving to Saturdays. But I just don't go up against the biggest UFC show of the month. How about that? That'd be great. But they just keep doing it. Right, here we go. Paul Heyman segment then. Paul Heyman segment. So, Paul Heyman is in the ring. There's going to be a special council. Right, Viking Raiders beat New Day. And now we've got this final Paul Heyman segment. My name is Paul Heyman. He doesn't even get a chance to finish it. The crowd finish it for him. He shakes his head. Paul Heyman. His name is Paul Heyman. And he is special counsel. Okay. Special counsel for the tribal chief. We know this. The GOAT. Heyman looking sleep deprived. Ending the show with a promo annoys me, says Cliff. I'm only watching the UFC main event, but I will be watching SummerSlam, says Humble Rumble. We know who you are, says William. I bet Paul has been involved with a lot more creative meetings since Triple H has taken over. He's got a big mouth, says Zoom Station. "700 days in the modern era." Have we reached 700 days now? Did he say for 35 years no one has gotten to 700 days? So Paul Heyman doing what he does best, is out there cutting a promo, talking about what Roman has achieved. Tomorrow night. So he's talking about how he's going to put Brock Lesnar down. We'll all be done with Brock Lesnar once and for all. And here's Brock's music. Brock's music hits. Paul Heyman says that we'll be done with Brock once and for all. I think Brock's got something to say about that. Smile on his face. Smile on his face. I wonder if SummerSlam is going to be up in the age rating. Well, apparently it's listed as being TV 14 again. They keep changing it. Brock Lesnar making his way down. The Beast! The Beast is here! Yeah, man. Look at him. Look at Heyman. Look at how Heyman is putting over Brock. He's holding his heart. Dun, dun, dun. Bruno Sammartino walks out and cleans house. Yes. Wouldn't be smiling if Bruno Sammartino came out. Brock Lesnar. Check out Brock's belt buckle. Oh, why? What's his belt buckle? Brock Lesnar getting into the ring. Brock Lesnar getting inside the ring. It says PG. It's not TV4. Oh, someone said earlier it was TV14 now. So Brock Lesnar in the ring with Paul Heyman. Heyman giving him the microphone. Brock seemingly not interested in the microphone. Theory walloping Brock. Theory attacking Brock. So Brock arrives. Theory attacks. He wallops Theory. He grabs Theory. Theory. Suplex City. Suplex 1. 1. 2. 2 suplexes so far. Theory is flopping around on the outside like a fish out of water. And now Theory gets claymored. A claymore by Drew. Drew staring at Brock. So a claymore. He got claymored as well. Jeez Louise. He's been suplexed. He's been claymored. No Roman. No Roman, but it's a bad night for Theory. Paul set up Theory. Show's done. Show's done. There is a fan with a Fiend mask. He's been there forever. Theory getting what he deserves now. Yeah. And that is it. Right, guys, I'm going to shoot off because we need to do our post-show review. We do it 10 minutes after every Raw, 10 minutes after every SmackDown. Come and join us because I want your thoughts. I want your scores. And actually, you can go over there right now and get your scores in because I've already put a tag in the tagged post in the chat. Click on that. I think you do need to sign in with your Google account. I don't get that information, right? But it just stops people constantly spamming because when we didn't do that, we just kept getting like 10 out of 10 winning. And I want honest reactions, honest thoughts. So jump over there, share your thoughts. In 10 minutes time, that stream will begin. I just need 10 minutes to get the pictures from there onto there. That's what I'll be doing. So we will be live in 10 minutes time. Go and share your thoughts on there. Appreciate you joining us. As always, and as we said, tomorrow, big day. Don't forget, we are doing UFC over here. Come and stop by, say hello, tell me your thoughts. I've no problems with whatever conversation you want to have. You can join us over here, but the full SummerSlam stream is on the Wrestling Escape Pod channel. So, just so we're on the same page, yeah? I want to make sure we're on the same page. Right, awesome. Thanks for watching. And let me end this poll as well. I can tell you that on Sunday, You guys have chosen 75% of you, and that's 1.2 thousand people, 1,200 people, 1,200 people have 75% have said they would rather a stream where we talk about what happened at SummerSlam and we look towards the future of WWE. So seems like our community, and 1,000 people is a lot of people, so it seems like our community would rather do that than Ric Flair's last match, so I think we end up doing that. So awesome. Thank you for that feedback. Thank you for the support, and I will see you in 10 minutes time. Bye.